you want to be close to him so you can knock him out of it before it finishes. But you want him to use it. You'd rather him use the meteor shower and either block it or knock him out of it than to have a full bar when you knock him out and then he resurrects. So that was another thing too. And of course abusing the Shoryu cannon. And another thing I noticed too is that the AI, they don't know how to really deal with Sean's that leg move when he's flying through the air and he's kicking downward. They don't know how to deal with that. Sometimes they'll just knock you out of the sky. Don't get it twisted, but they don't punish you for it as much as they really should. And especially if you catch them in the air, they're not gonna parry it ever. Ever. They're gonna get hit out of the air. So if you can do it while they're in the air, that's a free hit. Knockdown. They get up. You can set something up. But yeah. But really, Gil is the easiest to beat with Remy. Because Remy has that super art. Well, one, obviously, because of the flash kick, Gil jumps in, flash kick. Gil jumps in, flash kick, right? The AI is not good with dealing with that. And and Remy is very good with projectiles. And so you can spam those to kind of wear Gil down over the course of the match. But his super, I forgot which super art it is. I think it's super art 3. But it's a counter super art where he goes into an animation for a few seconds, and if the opponent hits you, then you counter with a full super. And the AI in this game, they can't help but want to hit you if you're standing right in front of them not doing anything. And so you can just, and I think that super fills up pretty quick too. And so you can just walk up to Gil, activate the super, and the AI doesn't realize that it shouldn't hit you. And so it'll hit you, and then you, again, straight super, easy super. So from playing that game too damn much, what I realized is that Remy is undeniably the best at destroying Gil. As much as I like playing Sean, I really don't prefer to defeat Gil with it. A lot of times I would just beat Ken and call it a day. Because Ken is his rival battle in that game. Is Akuma black, Marco? Or he's just a demon? He's a black demon. Akuma is very tan. Akuma is very. I always got the sense that he's more of a demon than anything else, but probably just a very tan Japanese demon. He's a oni. But a dun 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 dun. Not Shenmue. Peace out. I don't blame you. I appreciate Shenmue for the storyline. I watched the Vice documentary talking about the Yakuza members in Japan. Why y'all hating on Shenmue for it? Because I'm out here talking to homeless people?
Excuse me.
I ain't feeling so good right now. Try me later.
I see.
There's a homeless guy around here. We call him Bear. He I'll see him at the grocery store, and he'll be helping out, moving the carts and stuff. And I see him, and I wonder, did he strike up a deal with the manager or something to do that? Are they giving him $20 or something to do that? Or like, because I know he's not employed by them. He ain't wearing no goddamn uniform. I don't think he want a job anyway, but he does help out moving the carts in the parking lot. And I keep wondering. I just keep wondering if he struck up a deal with them, or does he just do it and people give him money or something. I don't know. We'll never know. We'll never know. The mysterious bear. The story in Shenmue is ass. Nothing has moved forward in 3 games. Hellbreaker is right about that. He's right about that. But look, I'll put it like this. I wouldn't say the story is ass, but the story is not moving fast enough. I think Shenmue 1 and 2 are okay because as a self-contained story, as a piece of a bigger puzzle, or a chapter within a complete story, it works, right? Shenmue 1 is if you look at just the story of Shenmue 1, it's okay. Shenmue 2, same thing. But I think the problem with Shenmue 3 was that it was supposed to be the game that propelled the story forward in a significant way, and it didn't do that. It didn't do that at all. Shenmue 3 was really the point where the story just decided to stagnate, and that's not good. That's really not good. Shenmue 3 should have had a significant move forward for Ryo as far as getting revenge against Lan Di, and they didn't do that. And I think that was the big issue there. I'm not saying that it should have been the end of the story, but it should have had a significant move forward in terms of Ryo's progress. Yeah, Ryo. I want to call him Ryu for a second. As far as Ryo's progress, and it didn't have that. It didn't have that at all. I didn't play it, by the way. I just watched a summary of the game, and it looks terrible. It really does. It has certain features that I like, but nah, I'm not playing that garbage. I'm not playing that. Well, I'll say this. I would play it, but I don't think I would beat it. I would play it more for like the novelty, like when I played that weird lolly anime game, lolly girl anime game. What was it? Hyperdimension Neptunia. You know, I'll try anything out once, but just seeing how they butchered that game is just. And also, they had to work with such a limited budget too. I think that hurt as well. Shenmue deserves better. Shenmue is not the type of franchise where you just can cut corners and say, okay, we desperately need another entry. Let's just lower our standards, because that's not even what Shenmue is about. Like, Shenmue has different defining features. But I think one thing that's undeniable is that when this game came out, it was a technological marvel in terms of character models, the amount of dialogue, unique NPCs, the weather system, the environments, graphics, sound. It was a technological showcase for what the Dreamcast could do. It was more than a game. It was about pushing the Dreamcast and gaming to its limits. And I think based on that, you can't go backwards and say, okay, we're going to do a crowd-funded Shenmue project. What's that shit? We're going to go to Kickstarter, right? No, that's not what Shenmue... Look, and I'm not saying that Shenmue is all about just the technological side of things. But that is really the foundation of Shenmue when you really think about it. Because without that, I don't know if this game would really be as beloved as it is. I really don't. Because I played this not long after it came out, maybe a few years after it came out. And so I'm comparing it to games of that era, right? And it was amazing. Now it doesn't seem like much to the Zoom crowd, but it was amazing. And to take Shenmue 3 and say, okay, we're gonna just do it's gonna be crowdfunded, we're gonna do Kickstarter, we're gonna beg for money, and we're not pushing any boundaries as far as video game technology and innovation. Come on. I'm sitting here waiting. I'm sitting here waiting for the bus. This game is too real, bro. I'm out here waiting for the bus. Oh God, this game is too real sometimes. Though I'm literally sitting here just waiting for a bus. I could have pulled out my little Walkman, started listening to music. All right, here we go. Look, say what you want about that forklift job, but Ryu is balling right now. He got so much cash on him. Yu Suzuki would be 100 by the time Shenmue 4 comes out. Yeah, dude should just put out a book. Just write a book. Just go ahead and write the Shenmue novels. Don't let your grand epic tale of revenge and martial arts and magic and magical mirrors go to waste. Damn it.
Toy capsules. 100 yen each, huh?
Just go ahead and finish it in novel form. Write the books. Just write some books, man. That's all you got to do. That way, at least if the games never come to fruition, the story is out there for people to enjoy.
I know this.
And to finally get some closure. Because it's not going to happen in game format.
Maybe I should get another.
Now, I forgot exactly, but I remember that there was talk about
It's the same one.
the scale of the Shenmue story as a whole. And
Maybe I should get another.
And again, it's been a while since I read this, so I could be a little off. But from what I remember, they were basically saying that it would take 6 to 7 games to complete the entire story or something. Like 6, 7, or 8, somewhere in that ballpark, like 6 or 7 games to complete the whole story. And that's not happening. We're on 3 and we need 3 more, and the third one wasn't good or well received. And the only reason the third game got approved is because the first and second games were well received and beloved by gamers. Well, you know, some, right? It's still a kind of a mixed crowd there.
I should try again.
This game is amazing. It's so kind of jarring going from Street Fighter to this, though. I went from just non-stop combat, super moves, fireballs to getting capsule toys out of a machine at 10 o'clock at night after getting off the bus.
Another.
Oh man, this is what I'm saying, man. Look at this. This was amazing. This was amazing back in the day.
This again?
So Akuma doesn't get a black card, but Casca does. Exactly. Yes, Kisame. Yes, Kisame.
Maybe I should get another.
I think with Akuma though, it's because of that demon element. I think most people attribute his skin to the whole demon aspect to the character. Because if you remember,
I know.
Depending on the game, his skin color changes with different outfits. His skin color isn't always brown. His skin color would be red, gray, right? He's kind of like Blanca, right? Where different outfits, his skin color changes with it. Like I think in Street Fighter Alpha 3, in one of his color palettes, his skin is literally gray, right? And so I think his skin color is more attributed to the demon element of the character. He's no longer human. You know, most characters don't have that. Most
I should try
characters in
again.
Street Fighter, their skin color doesn't change with different outfits. That's only for Blanca and Akuma and you know, weirdo characters like Necro or 12.
What? This again?
So I think Akuma is literally a different case because his skin color is attributed to the demon element of the
Maybe I should
character.
get another.
That's why his skin color would change with different color palettes and outfits. I think Evil Ryu in Alpha 3, his skin is
This is cool.
it has more of a tan than original Ryu, but it doesn't go to bizarre levels of gray and red and shit. They just gave him a light tan. Akuma literally changes from red to
Maybe I should
brown
get
to
another.
gray, so yeah, it is very different because he's a demon. he's a demon. But they don't do that for normal characters. They don't for the most part, they don't do
This
that.
again?
You don't have a green Guile. Right? You don't have a green
Maybe I should
Guile,
get
blue
another.
Ken.
Hey, what's this? I should try again.
So Marco wants to be cooked by Griffith. Oh, Griffith. What a great character. Too bad Berserk would never would never live up to his former
What?
glory.
This again? I should try again.
Shenmue is like an in real life wagey simulator, and I appreciate it for that. I think Shenmue 2 has underground fights and yes, Shenmue 2 has more going on as far as action. I think
This is cool.
one thing I always say I think was a flaw with this game was that there wasn't enough combat. And I'm not saying that
Maybe
it should
I
have
should
been
get
more
another.
random encounters like it's Yakuza. Every time you turn the corner, there's 5 guys trying to beat your ass. I'm not saying that. I think that they should have allowed you to spar more often with Fuxan. And I think there should have
the same
been some
one.
sort of like underground fight club or something like that, just so you could get more experience and
I should try
and
again.
opportunities to actually put your fighting to use and get used to it. Because as it stands, the way the game is, you never really get used to fighting because you don't fight a lot.
It's the same one.
That's one thing that Shenmue 2 does get better does do
Maybe I
better
should get another.
is that they allow you to there's just simply more to do. Shenmue just has more shit to do. Shenmue 2. But I just could never get into Shenmue 2 because I just didn't like the setting. Honestly, like it's
Hey, what's this?
I just didn't like China as a setting. It wasn't the same. But I do plan
Maybe I
on
should get another.
tackling it seriously at some point. Maybe even in next year. I mean, I have it right here. It came with it's Shenmue 1 and 2 together. So wait a minute, is it on the same disc?
It's the same one.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, I'm tripping. I was like, where's the other disc? I'm like, oh, you gotta actually, it's on the disc. You gotta install it. Only have Shenmue 1 installed. Okay, kind of
Maybe
forgot
I
there.
should get another.
Dun, dun, dun. Seems to me the guy does it for food or something. Yeah, maybe something like that. But I would assume he'd rather have crack money. So I'm suspicious of that. But maybe food.
What? This again?
But I'm pretty sure we have a homeless shelter around here, and they feed you. They give you shelter. They give you food. There are different ways to get clothing.
I should try again.
If I had to bet, I think they're paying him in cash because I don't think he would bother for money. I mean, I don't think he would bother for food because they give out food at the homeless shelter.
Hey, what's this?
Shun D1. They give out food at the homeless shelter. The only thing about the homeless
Lisa
shelter
will be worried. I should go
is
home
that
soon.
you can't stay there during the day. Once it's morning time, you gotta leave. And you can't come back till nighttime. That's why the homeless people, they kind of just scatter around the city. They kind of just scatter because they're not allowed to stay at the homeless shelter during the daytime. But if I had to bet, I don't think they're paying him in food. I think they're probably giving him why did it say corrupted? Oh boy, that's not good. Let's see here. Yeah, if I had to bet, I would say they're probably giving him money. Cause I think he wants cocaine more than cookies. Griffith looks feminine enough for Marco. He let him because it wouldn't threaten his masculinity. It seems Goro and Mai are getting married. Why would it threaten my masculinity? Why would it threaten my masculinity? I'm not that weak-minded. I think a lot of guys struggle with their sexuality because they're insecure about their masculinity. And I think that's why it was never an issue for me. Well, I'm not saying I was never insecure about my masculinity. But I think becoming secure in my masculinity kind of it kind of happened at the same time with being like, oh, this gay shit is kind of cool. so it was an easy transition for me to be like, oh, this is just cool.
On your mark, almost time to go.
Like it's some cute niggas out here. Like Griffiths. But really, realistically speaking, Griffith is too masculine. He has a beautiful face, but you gotta think, if you were to fuck Griffith, his body would be hard as a fucking brick. He ain't no bitch. Like, don't let the cute face fool you. Griffith is a grown, hard body warrior. It would be no fun fucking that dude. His body would be hard. You might as well fuck Guts. Like they're both too hard body. Like I guarantee you, he probably feels like a brick. Griffith just has that beautiful feminine face, but his body would be very masculine. Like just a hard. He's like fucking a rock. However, you know, if he was to go on hormones and HRT as they call it, it'd be a different story, you know. Oh shit! Why am I even trying to win this dumb shit? I already got first place. Griffith can cut Guts all he wants, but he would crawl to his knees at the sight of a 64-year-old retired Oji-san. Oh boy. Oh god. I forgot about that. Neptunia is basic as fuck, but the girls are cute. It's like Lucky Star is an anime. Eighth Liar has okay gameplay. I think Chad would enjoy it. But a bit of Yuri. I don't mind Yuri. I mean, if I like traps, why would I have an issue with a little girl on girl? But the thing about like lesbian porn, I can watch lesbian porn, but there still has to be a certain power dynamic. I like it when one girl is like more confident and dominant over a more like shy, feminine one, right? I'm not saying like a stud, but like basically like two feminine girls, but one who is obviously more dominant and controlling of the situation, I should say. Otherwise, it's just boring. But when there's one girl who's like, I'm gonna turn you out, bitch. Like that's, and the other one is like, okay, I guess. That's hot. That's, I can fuck with that. But otherwise, it would just be too boring. There has to be some type of like power dynamic there. Griff is weird and asexual looking. That scene with him and Casca
really
would have
need
poked
more
my eyes
practice.
out.
Here's your prize.
Thanks.
Time for work. Give me your best.
8 Liar, Tails, Neptunia, Persona.
Today you gotta move cargo between
Ban
warehouses.
Big Hit
Gotcha.
Darmaka right
First,
now
take
for
a crate
life.
From here over
No,
to
I'm
warehouse
playing.
number
Don't do
8
it.
And unload it there. Then take a crate from warehouse number 8.
But
to warehouse
I'm not
number
gonna
18.
argue with you.
You know where that is, right?
I take this to
Now,
warehouse number 8.
Neptunia, you smoking
Then I
crack.
take number 8 cargo to warehouse number 18.
I've seen enough of Neptunia to know Neptunia ain't got shit on Persona. So fuck out of here with that shit.
I got it.
But I haven't played 8 Liar or Tails, so I'm not going to fight you on that. I'm not gonna comment on something I don't know. But Neptunia over Persona, you got some of the strongest fentanyl in your system. Ain't no way. It just ain't no way. But having never played the other games, I'm not gonna jump the gun because you might be right. But that aside, I think it's funny how Final Fantasy has fallen from grace as like the go-to JRPG, you know? Because I remember when Final Fantasy was firmly at the top of the pack, right? And wasn't Persona 5 Game of the Year? Or was it like Game of the Year for like certain magazines or something? But Persona 5, well, 3 and 4 were like, 3 was big, but it was still kind of niche. Persona 4 was when Persona went mainstream, really. And 5 just took it to a whole different level. And what I'm saying is, you don't see people talking about Final Fantasy that way anymore. No one like Final Fantasy has not been in Game of the Year discussion in forever. Not even Game of the Month. Not even Game of the Hour. not even Game of the fucking month in a goddamn crackhead video game magazine. like nobody is checking for Final Fantasy like we used to. It's crazy. It seemed like Final Fantasy has just fallen from grace, really. I remember when I played Final Fantasy 13 years ago. I was so excited, man. I knew that the reception and the reviews wasn't that great, but it just felt good that Final Fantasy was back and in a big way, and it was a next gen console. It was on next gen console and whatnot, and so I was excited about it. And I played it. Obviously, I played it, and I put quite a few hours into it. I probably put like 50, 60 hours into it, but I never beat it. And looking back, that game sucks. That game fucking sucks. Don't get me wrong, because I feel kind of bad saying that. But when I think back, the value of Final Fantasy 13 was in its production value and nothing else. Final Fantasy is one of those games that when they make a Final Fantasy game, they dump an unlimited amount of money into it. The budget is a blank check. And so obviously when you have that going for you, okay, you can still make an amazing, I can't even say game, But you can do amazing things with a lot of money as far as the soundtrack and the graphics and the cinematics and the different scenes and cut scenes and whatnot, right? And so I would give Final Fantasy 13 that all day, right? The production values are through the roof. But as a game, it's a complete fail. A complete fail. Looking back, the only thing I can give it credit for is the insane production values. But again, that's what happens when you put infinite amount of money behind something. That's the same thing with Resident Evil 6. You just know it was a game that had a blank check for a budget. And so the production values are there, but as a game, it's just not good. And I think that's kind of where Final Fantasy has. Well, look, I haven't played. What was it? Final Fantasy 14. What's the Final Fantasy where it's like 4 gay dudes on a road trip? I haven't played that one. but so I'll leave that, my opinion on that, till I try it out. But I'm willing to bet it's the same thing. I'm willing to bet it's the same shit as Final Fantasy 13. Insane production values, but a completely soulless game. A completely soulless experience. And I just say all that to say that it's interesting that Persona has... I mean, look. You want to put Neptunia above Persona and 8 Liar Tales, whatever, right? But I think we all can agree that Final Fantasy has really has fallen from that pedestal as the king of JRPGs. The Shenmue community is pretty huge, so I bet they probably have a Shenmue novel by now. Yeah, maybe they do. Maybe it's already maybe it's novelized. Maybe I gotta look into that. But I would have figured that if they had already completed the story in novel form, people would have been talking about it by now. I haven't heard any sort of talk about that. So, like, people would have been talking about, oh, this is how the story ended. So I'm not sure about that. Because certainly, if the story was completed in some way, shape, or form, somebody would be like, oh yeah, Rio defeated Landy in space after going Super Saiyan. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, can I make it? Can I make it? Okay, this will be the last box until we go on break. Wait, hold up. Yuri is actually a good protagonist with a cool personality and not like... Wait, I thought you were talking about lesbian hentai. You can tell my mind is in the gutter. Yuri? Man, I thought... I was like, oh, so it's about lesbians. Cool. Yuri is a character. Okay, I thought you were talking about lesbian hentai. Because, you know, Yao is gay hentai and Yuri is lesbian hentai. So I was like, oh, they got lesbian protagonists. That's cool. Oh, boy. I read that very wrong. Bro, this game, I swear, exactly. I'm going to fire up my PS3 after stream. I wish I had a PS3 right now. I would stream some Resident Evil. I want a PS3 just so I could stream those PS1 classic games that aren't on the PS4 network.
Tom.
Hi-dio!
I've got something to ask you. Have you heard of the Long
Longza?
The Mad Angels guys call the deal by that name. I need to find out when they're making this long jaw.
Sorry, I don't know anything, man.
Really?
I don't know anything, none. To this day, you can't make Xbox Series X run Xbox OG or 360 at faster load times. Huh. Persona 3 is the only good Persona game. Get out of here, Big Hit. That is my favorite one, though, but come on now. Don't talk crazy here. But Persona 3 is... And, oh, I mean, come on, Persona 2? Come on. Eternal Punishment and Innocent Sin? Oh, man. I mean, but I get it. You don't like it. That's fine. I'm not, you're entitled to your opinion. But I disagree. I would say the only Persona game that's of questionable quality is, well, excluding the spinoffs like Dance All Night. I don't know. Right. I ain't never played that. I played a demo, but, outside of that, I don't, I can't speak on those. But as far as the main games, I played the first one. Granted, I played the bastardized, localized American version, but I did play that. I played Innocent Sin. I didn't beat it, but I got to the very end before I stopped. I never played Eternal Punishment, which is Part 2. I beat 3, 4, and 5. And the first one is the only one that I would say is of questionable quality. But again, it was the bastardized, localized version. So that might have been a factor. But I think even when Persona was in its early days, but before it evolved into what it became with Persona 3, when they really placed the emphasis on the social link aspect and the whole idea of being of splitting the game between living a normal life as a student and socializing, getting to know people, and character development and whatnot, before it leaned heavy towards that and splitting that with the whole dungeon crawling aspect. Even then, I think it was a very interesting game. But yeah, it was definitely much more of a standard dungeon crawler when you're talking about Persona 1 and Persona 2 parts 1 and 2. Those were more like the original Shin Megami Tensei games. Like Nocturne, for example. Nocturne obviously doesn't have social links and all that all that soft shit. It's straight demons and dungeon crawling and death, right? And story. There's story there, don't get me wrong, but the emphasis is obviously on dungeon crawling more than anything else. And with Persona 3, that's when Persona evolved into something unique. Because really, Persona 1 and 2 were really more... Persona 1 and 2 were just Shin Megami Tensei, but with school kids, right? Right? It was Shin Megami Tensei, but instead of demons, it was personas, right? But the changes they made with Persona 3 is what really made the series evolve into something unique. But Persona 3 is my favorite. I will say that. It's my favorite. But 4 and 5 are great games as well, though. I just have a preference for 3. If I had to rank them, leaving out 1 and 2, because let's be fair, it's so different, right? Leaving out 1 and 2, in my opinion, I would say 3, 5, 4. I'll put it like that. 3, 5, 4.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Are you busy, Hisaka-san?
Hisaka-san.
I'm thinking up a new menu. So I guess you could say I'm fairly busy.
I see. I've got to go.
You'd
stop by
enjoy
later.
Tales games.
Okay.
I don't
I'll
doubt
see
it.
ya.
I like JRPGs. It's just, they're just such a commitment, because you already know that's at least 60 hours right there. It's not the kind of game that you can just play and it's not going to take long. Like, when I played Evil Within, how many episodes? That was like a 20 episode playthrough or stuff. So that took like 20 hours, 20 plus hours or something like that, right? That's like a standard game experience. With JRPGs, man, especially nowadays with the abundance of content in video games.
Excuse
You're
me.
talking.
What is it?
You're
Have you
talking
heard someone talking about the long jaw
60
around the
hours
harbor?
minimum.
Long jaw?
Like I have
What's that?
Dragon
I
Quest
heard
what,
some
11 up
Angels
there or
guys
something.
talking
I
about
don't know
something
what
like that.
And I already know if I
Maybe
play
it's a
that
code name or something.
60 hours,
Well,
70,
lately
if
I
not
have
80 to
seen
100
them.
hours.
Whispering about something.
Okay. Excuse me.
What is it?
In one of your past streams, you said you donated plasma. Did you really do it? What's it like to donate your plasma? Yeah, I donated plasma for like almost a year straight. Let me see how long. Let me see. I haven't done it in over a year. I stopped doing it once I got my job because I just didn't need to do it anymore. So when I got my part-time, well, really, I stopped going. I stopped doing it like not exactly because I got my part-time job. I'll get into that. But once I got my part-time job, I really wasn't about to go back there. But I was doing it for about, let me see, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So I did it for about 8 months straight. And what was it like? So I was one of the first people there because I noticed that they were building the plasma center in my neighborhood by the grocery store. And so the day they were opening, I just happened to be coming out of the store and I went in there and they were like, "Oh, we're not open yet." But the door was unlocked, but they told me they weren't open yet. And they were like, "Come back in about an hour." And so I came back and pretty much they just they give you like a very light physical. Now remember, this is when COVID was at its peak, right? So you got mask on and social distancing and all that.
Warehouse number 8.
I don't know how they
Then
do
go to
the
warehouse
physical
number
thing
18.
now, but when I went, they didn't really want to like touch you or anything. So it was more like they were just kind of checking you out. Like they wanted to just make sure you didn't have any like marks or they were looking for like tattoos and stuff like that. Just trying to figure out what type like your health at a surface level, right? And then they give you this big questionnaire where you gotta. That was really the hardest part, right? With like getting in the door, because you gotta answer like so many questions, and they ask you questions pertaining to your health. If you're a drug user, they ask you if you've been to jail. They ask you about your sexual activity, specifically because they want to know if you're a man who has sex with men, because that's always been an issue with donating plasma and blood is they don't want to get contaminated blood from demographics that are more likely to have HIV and whatnot, right? And so they ask you about all kind of stuff. And you go through that, and of course you gotta have your ID, address, the basic stuff. But the questionnaire was like, you're talking like 100 questions or some shit like that. Maybe like 70, 80. It's been a while, but that took a while, like answering all the questions and whatnot. And so after that, if you get cleared as far as the questionnaire, is it questionnaire or questionnaire? but after that, they do. Let me think. They take your temperature and they check your blood pressure, and they take a small blood sample to see, I think the blood sample was to check the plasma level of your blood, because if it was too low, they wouldn't allow you to donate. And so they would just prick your finger and put the blood in like a little machine to you know, to see whatever they're trying to see with it, right? And they would check your blood pressure too, because if your blood pressure was too high, you can't donate. But typically, I never had issues, basically, because I'm a healthy, able-bodied, strong, manly man. So, I think the only issue I ever had, like one time, my plasma level was too low or something like that, and that was, I think that was like after months of going, right? And so, yeah, I donated plasma. They hook you up to a machine. Oh yeah, this is the worst part. This is where it gets bad. They hook you up to a machine, right? And the way the machine works, it draws blood out of your arm, and the blood goes into the machine. And the plasma, and see, remember, donating plasma is different from donating blood. So they do extract blood out of you, but it goes into the machine, and the plasma is separated from the blood and goes into a different compartment in the machine. And so once the machine is done taking some of your blood out and separating the plasma from it, it puts the blood back in you. So you're not donating blood, you're donating the plasma from the blood. So remember, your blood is being drawn out, the plasma is separated from the blood, your blood is put back in. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but the needle they put in your arm is big as fuck. And how much it hurt depends entirely on the person putting it in your arm. Some of the girls they had in there, they could put that big ass needle in your arm and you wouldn't feel nothing. Some of them girls in there, that shit hurt so bad. Man. So, and there, I remember there was one girl in particular. I was scared every time she had to put that damn needle in my arm, because she just could not do it without hurting your ass every time. Oh man, but then there was, and I don't mean to sound misogynistic. But when a man, every time a man put that shit in my arm, like, I never felt nothing. I remember one time this white guy was in there, because most of the girls that work the machines, that hook you up and everything, well, most of the workers that work at the machines that hook you up, they're females, but every now and then it'd be a guy working in the area. And I remember it was a white guy. He put that thing in my arm. I mean, I didn't feel nothing. No, I didn't feel, literally, I felt nothing. Like, I had to look like, did he put it in? He put it in. And I was like, how did you do that? And he said, years of experience. But that's the worst part, is that needle, getting that needle in your arm, it could be a breeze, or it could be, goddamn, you stupid cunt, I want to choke you. I want to strangle you right now. But, and again, I don't want to sound misogynistic, but I never had an issue when it was a man putting the needle in my arm. Like, they always just knew how to do it without you feeling it, or you felt very little pain. But I think it was because a lot of the girls that were in there, they were getting trained and they wouldn't stay long. So I think that was part of it too. Some of the girls were still going through training, and a lot of them, they wouldn't work there very long. But yeah, that was the worst part. But again, it entirely depended on who put it in your arm. But once that was over with, it was smooth sailing. You're sitting there, you got the needle in your arm, and you got to and And oh yeah, oh wait, no. It's more to it too. Because here's another thing. How long it takes can be kind of random. There were times when I was in and out real quick, like maybe like 45 minutes. And this is not counting like pre-screening and all that. Just from the time you get hooked up to the time they unhook you and you can walk the fuck out, I would say on average that would take about 45 minutes. But sometimes you could be in there hour and 20 minutes. It would depend. And sometimes people had like complications with the machines and whatnot. And so like sometimes people had to switch arms, restart the machine. It was, you know, every now and then stuff would happen, but for the most part, you know, it'll be smooth sailing. But how long it would take could be kind of random, you know. If you were lucky, you were in there for 45 minutes, or you were hooked up for like 45 minutes. If not, you'll be in there over an hour. And don't, oh God, make sure you use the bathroom too. Use the bathroom. One of my friends, he peed on himself. He peed on himself when he was hooked up to the machine. Because when you're hooked up, they can't just yank the needle out of your arm and let you go to the bathroom. They gotta stop the machine. No. They have to configure the machine to stop the process of separating the plasma from the blood, put the blood back in you, then they can unhook you and you go to the bathroom. So if you were up there and you had to pee, oh boy, you were in for it. And so I had a friend who literally peed on himself in the chair while donating. One time I had to pee so bad, I felt like I was being tortured in Iraq or something, bro. It was, but I held it in. But I remember I had to pee so bad. But yeah, make sure you use the bathroom. The money, right? So the way it worked was that you can only donate twice a week. And so when I first started going, the money was good. It was like, now they would have certain specials depending on holidays and times of the year. But I would say this is basically how it worked. The first time you donated, like, okay, let's say you're donating twice a week, right? The first day you donate out of that week, you'll get from $45 to $60. The second time, you're getting $70 to maybe $100, or like 70 to 90 to 100 or something like that. So on average, I was making like $125 donating plasma every week. Not bad. But from what I understand, they don't give you as much money anymore. And so it seems like I stopped doing it at the right time. They don't give you as much money anymore. From what I've heard, that's what one of my friends told me. They don't, you know, he'll go there every now and then to get weed money. But he said it's not like how, like when I first, because I went day one and was going for months straight. And again, I made like at least 125 every week, sometimes more than that.
Finished for the day.
But here's another issue though. When I first started going, it was packed.
Good job. Here's today's pay.
Now, in fact, I'll say when I first started going, there wasn't a lot of people.
Good work.
Yes.
I'd say for like the first month, there wasn't a lot of people because everybody in my city, they didn't know about it, right? People like word got around. Hey man, you can get $100. Hey, you can get over $100 a week donating plasma, and the first 2 times you donate, you get $100 each. The first 2 times, so that's $200. So after the first month, it was like it was never too crowded. After that, I mean, bro, you would go there. You could go there early in the morning when they first open. It's a line outside. Now, line inside. It's a full long line inside the building. This is when they first open. Long line inside, and the line so long it's going outside. That's how bad it got as far as like too many people. I ain't gonna say too many people, but so many people going to donate. It got that's and so I would say outside of the needle hurting like hell, if a stupid bitch had to put it in your arm, the amount of time you had to sit in there. But remember, at that point, I ain't got a job or nothing. So I would go in there with a book. I'll be listening to audiobooks. I'll be in there reading manga or something, you know. So when I went in there, I already knew that I had to have something ready to make. But I'm telling you, when it was packed, let's say you first got there. From the time you first get there to when you get off the machine and you can walk out, and then this is when it was packed and crowded, that could take like 3 hours. It could take like 3 hours. I might have been in there like 4 hours a few times. So, but again, when you don't have a life and no job, you know, it's like what's sitting down and reading for a few hours, and then they have a TV playing Martin and BET and stuff. So, but the reason why I stopped going, now for the most part, I never noticed any like health complications because of it, and I was donating like crazy. But I think that's because I'm in good shape anyway. The reason why I stopped donating was because I noticed that when I would go running, the muscles in my legs would get super tight. And I wasn't able to run long distance like I used to because my leg muscles would get so tight that I would have to stop. Like I would run and I would have to stop and wait for my leg muscles to loosen up. And then I could run like I normally could. And so I was like, this is weird. Like, why is this happening? I was probably donating all this goddamn plasma. And so I stopped donating for like 2 weeks and my legs went back to normal. And so, and at first that wasn't an issue, but I think after months, it did start having an effect on me. And once I saw the difference when I stopped donating, how my legs just automatically went back to pristine shape, I was like, okay, now I got to make a choice because I love running. And I was like, I don't want this, you know, donating plasma to get in the way of me and doing what I love to do, which is, you know, jogging and running and whatnot. And so that's when I really started slowing down with it. And then it just so happened that maybe like 2 months after I stopped going, that's when I got my part-time job. And so I didn't really need it anymore anyway. So that's basically what happened. But overall, it was worth it. As a broke-ass NEET, yeah, it was worth it. Because I had, again, $100+ every week to spend. And that ain't bad. That ain't bad. So it was worth it. But I wouldn't recommend going as hard as I did. I did it every week for months, just about every week for months on end. And I think I could only handle it because I was already in great shape, you know, as far as like consistently working out and whatnot. I think that's the only reason why I could handle it. I wouldn't recommend going as hard as I did, but it was worth it because I made a lot of money out of this. I made a lot of money out of that bitch. And that was my plasma donating story. 4 is a better Persona game, though. 4 is a better Persona game, though. 4 is a better Persona game, though. I'll say this.
Excuse me.
I'll say this.
Do you know what Long Jia means?
Lung Ja? What's that?
I heard some of the Mad Angels guys talking about something
Persona
like that.
4,
Lung Ja.
from a
Is that Chinese?
gameplay perspective,
Well, lately I have seen them.
does several
Something
things
about some
better
Hazuki guy.
than Persona
Okay.
3. And I mean that's typical, right? Because when you're creating a video game series and you go from 1 to 2 to 3, whether you're talking about Devil May Cry, God of War, whatever, Metal Gear Solid, they as the games progress, the developers
Do you know when that Mad
polish
Angel deal is going to take
the
place?
overall blueprint and formula of the game as they go along, right? So, yes, Persona 4, from a gameplay perspective, does several things better than Persona 3. I agree with that. But I still choose Persona 3 over 4 because I simply prefer the characters, the story, and the setting more than Persona 4. And the overall vibe, because I like edgy, dark stuff. I'm an edgelord. And everybody agrees that Persona 3 is much more grim dark, as they used to say, than Persona 4. Persona 4 is more... I mean, it has dark elements because, again, it's a murder mystery plot. But it's a lot more lighthearted as far as its overall tone and vibe. The music, even the music and the visuals, right? And there's a lot more like slice of life elements alongside the darker side of what's happening in terms of the murders and what's going on in the shadow world and whatnot. But yeah, from a game, like in terms of pure gameplay, yes, Persona 4 does several things better than Persona 3. But I still prefer Persona 3 because I prefer its characters and its story and setting and its overall darker tone. Final Fantasy went to shit after X. I agree. And I'm not even a big fan of X, to be honest with you. I'm not even but I will say that X is the last Final Fantasy game where I felt like, okay, this is still a good JRPG, right? I completed Final Fantasy X. I enjoyed it. But I think that Final Fantasy X was the beginning of the end. Because I think Final Fantasy X was when they lost sight of what made Final Fantasy 7 and 8 so special. Well, part of what made it so special. And I think that Final Fantasy 7 and 8 just gave you this sense of freedom as far as exploring the world that Final Fantasy X didn't have. And I think I don't know if they didn't know or if they just didn't care, but I noticed that one of the biggest criticisms I see about Final Fantasy X is that compared to 7 and 8, it felt way more linear. And then fast forward to like Final Fantasy 13, you don't really get any freedom for like the first 50 hours of the game. like any. Not until you touch down on I forgot the exact thing, but it's like you go down to like this plain area where you can it's like a big area that you can explore. That's when I stopped playing though, to be honest.
Excuse me. I have something to ask you.
I'm on patrol right now. Ask another security guard, will ya?
I know some people vouch for Final Fantasy 12, but I don't think I ever played it. No, I think I did, but I couldn't get into it. I played it for like a few hours and just couldn't get into it. That's what happened. But I have heard people vouch for 12 for sure. But yeah, I think Final Fantasy they fell off straight up. Final Fantasy is falling off, and it's unfortunate. It really is. But I think it's it's a series that is surviving based on its name and production values. Because I have not seen a Final Fantasy game that's just like, wow, the people just love it. We're so excited about this Final Fantasy Game of the Year candidate. I haven't seen Final Fantasy in any sort of discussion like that in forever. Oh boy.
You talking to me?
Have you seen any strange shipments come in lately?
Uh-huh. I think I've seen some.
Ooh.
I hear they're the Mad Angels.
Is that right?
Can you tell me anything about some deal they're making?
Go away now.
I see.
Oh god, I'm not getting anywhere, bruh. But I don't think I'm going to be able to advance until a particular event happens. But I'm gonna just keep asking around, because the topic of conversation right now is the Long Ja deal.
Excuse me.
What is it?
Have you heard about some deal the Mad Angels are arranging?
Well, I wouldn't know about that, you know.
4 has
So
waffles,
you
I
haven't
get
seen
that.
any
The
of
story
them
is shit and the
around.
gameplay is repetitive.
No,
5
but I
is
saw a couple of sailors
all of
acting
that,
kinda
but on crack.
suspicious. The
Yeah,
harbor's full
5
of all
5 look,
kinds of
5
sailors,
is
don't you know?
phenomenal.
Where did you see them?
Over by the harbor lounge.
Hold up, what did he say? Oh, we finally got a hint, guys. We got a hint. But yeah, 5 is great. 5 really is great. I think I don't really have anything bad to say about 5, but for me, I still just, when it come right down to it, I'll take Persona 3 any day. I'll take Persona 3 any day, man, cause it's just that cast is perfect. It really, like, for me, it's just a perfect cast. Persona 5, as much as I like the game, I'm not a big fan of some of the really, I'm not a big fan of a lot of the main characters, if I'm being completely honest. I forgot their names because I haven't played in a long time, but Anne, right? Generic blonde, right? Just I mean, she's pretty, I get it, but I get, like, just she's eye candy, right? The guy with the blonde hair that's supposed to be like the bro character, the worst bro character out of Junpei, Yosuke, and what's his, I think his name is Ryuji. His name Ryuji or something. Out of the 3 bro characters from 3 to 4 to 5, he's easily the worst. But maybe I just haven't played Persona 4 in a while, because I don't remember liking Yosuke that much. So I don't know. But and then there was that one girl that you got really late, and I wasn't really fond of her. The neat girl, obviously fan favorite. Come on, gotta, like, okay, that's grade A. That's a grade A character right there, right? That's top of the class, elite JRPG character, right? Neat. All right, I give him full credit for that. Also, I liked Makoto because but really that's because she reminded me of Mitsuru so much. Didn't really care for the blue-haired artist friend. Didn't really care much for him. Am I missing anybody? But yeah, I think Persona 3 is always going to be the top for me until they make a Persona game that can outdo that cast. That's just what it's going to be. That's just what it's going to be, man. What can I say? Just
It's closed.
Persona 3 just has I like all the characters, and that's rare. I liked everybody. Akihiko, Junpei, Mitsuru. Ken, the dog. Aegis, come on, fuck out of here. I forgot about Aegis. Come on, Aegis is worth at least 3 Persona 5 characters by herself. So please, nah. But again, Persona 5 is still a great game.
I should go home.
I'm just saying, 4 and 5. In fact, I would say, even though I rate 5 above 4, I think 4 has a better overall cast than 5. Just based off of the cast of main characters, playable characters, 4 has a better cast than 5. But 5 shits on 4 in just about every other way. But out of 3, 4, and 5, I think 5. For me, 5 has the worst cast. Not a bad cast, but 3 and 4 just have a great cast of characters. I do have to give Persona 4 full credit for that. Persona 4 does have a great cast of main characters. As far as their chemistry together, yeah. Individually, I might not like them that much, but together as a whole, it's a beautiful. That's a beautiful group of friends. I gotta be honest, it's beautiful. That shit is beautiful. Man, that shit'll bring a damn titty out. Like they just have such great chemistry as a group. But 5 doesn't have a bad cast, but I think it's the weakest out of 3, 4, and 5. But 5 just has everything else. Everything else. Oh man. It's just that 4 is more grounded and more honest to what a Persona game establishes and its core themes. It depends. But I get why you would say that though. I get why you would say that. Because again, Persona evolved from Persona 1 and Persona 2 into something completely different with 3. And 4 just doubled down on that, going into that direction of slice of life, social links, socializing, character development, that aspect of it, right? It doubled down on that. And so, in a way, you could say Persona 4 is like Persona in its purest form. But I don't think 5 strayed too far from that, to be honest. I don't think 5 strayed too far from it. Uh-oh. All right.
Toy capsules. 100 yen each, huh?
We got another day
Maybe
of
just
forklifting. Guys, we got another day of forklifting. That's undeniable. But I did find a clue. Something told me just run around and talk to people.
I know this.
But we got a clue.
I should try again.
5 is too shallow. It's just style. The big bads are cartoonishly evil. It's been a while since I played it, so I don't want to comment on things that I don't remember.
What? This again?
But I do have to say I don't remember many standout bad guys as far as that was cool. Like look, I mean I do remember Kamoshida and right, the perverted gym teacher, and wasn't there like a Yakuza guy or something, like a fat short Yakuza dude, and then there was the guy, the artist, right, the painter.
I should try again.
But I do like one thing I will say about one of the antagonists, the detective character that was trying to hunt them
This
down
is cool.
and eventually join your team, right? Spoiler alert.
I should try again.
He was a good. That was a good character. That was a good character, and the whole dynamic between him and the main character and his group kind of reminded me of Death Note a little bit.
What? This again?
Death Note, but for kids. I'll put it like that, right? You know, genius detective versus the
I should try again.
versus the main character who's able to use supernatural means to get their way, right? It kind of gave me Death Note vibes, and to me, he was the standout as far as the antagonist within the game.
It's the same one.
I prefer my
I should try
Megami
again.
Tensei games to have a little bit of difficulty. I might be biased since I'm more of an SMT fan myself. I don't blame you. I think really JRPGs do tend to be too easy a lot of times, but also I tend to grind too, so I can't really complain.
What? This again?
I'm a grinder. I like to grind and stomp enemies, so
Maybe
You
I
know.
should get another.
so I can't really be too mad about that. But I think that like Nocturne, what's great about Nocturne is that
This again?
you can grind and make the story parts super easy
I should try
or
again.
much easier, but then you still have the Kappa dungeons that are always going to be a challenge because the enemies there are always like a few levels above the enemies at that particular point in the story or where you would be in the story.
What? This again?
And so in Nocturne, you can grind while also using the Kappa dungeons to have a bit of a challenge. So you get the best of both worlds.
I should try again.
Strange Journey is GOAT. I remember when that game first came out. I never played it, but I remember on the video game board on 4chan, people always gave that game high praise. Always. I never played it, but I remember during my V days when that game came out, I heard nothing but good things about it. So I'm not surprised you would say that.
I should
Final
try
Fantasy
again.
11 was okay. Haven't played the Lightning games yet. Wasn't 11 the MMORPG? I never really include that when I have discussions about Final Fantasy because obviously a MMORPG is a completely different story.
This again?
You know, games like that tend to be held up by different strings, I should say.
I should try again.
And what I mean is, when you're talking about a MMORPG, there's that whole aspect of playing with other people, which I think can make just about any game much better.
This again?
Final Fantasy IX was the GOAT for me. Final Fantasy IX was okay.
Maybe I should get
I'm not
another.
I'm not a big fan. I beat it some years ago, but I'm not a big fan of it. It was okay. Like to me, Final Fantasy IX just felt like Final Fantasy IX to me seemed
This
like
again?
they were trying to make a generic
I should try
JRPG.
again.
And when I say generic, I don't mean like in a bad way, but it's like they were trying to simplify things and kind of take it back to like the Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and 3 era, but taking like that vibe and bringing it to,
Great.
oh, that's awesome. But yeah, taking the vibe of earlier JRPGs and bringing it to a new era.
Ine-san will be worried.
At least that's how
I should
I
go
always
home
perceive
soon.
Final Fantasy IX. Because when you look at it, just how, like, in particular, how clearly defined the classes were, right? Oh, like, this is the thief, this is the warrior, this is the black mage, this is the... right? Whereas with Final Fantasy VIII, it was more like hybrid characters and a completely different, stupid battle system, but I'm not going to go there. But I thought Final Fantasy IX was okay, but not a big fan. Final Fantasy VIII used to be my favorite until I figured out how stupid, how badly designed the battle system in that game is.
Whoa, gotta get going.
I think something's gonna happen today. He woke up kind of. Normally he don't wake up like that. We'll see though. Okay. Goddamn. But yeah, Final Fantasy VIII used to be my favorite. But once I figured out how broken the battle system is, I'll never be able to enjoy that game again. I'll never be able to enjoy it again. That game is fundamentally broken.
Yeah. Like always, 3 laps to the finish.
Now, my favorite Final Fantasy game is Final Fantasy Tactics.
On your mark.
I know.
Almost time to go.
I sound like a real hipster saying that. But now it's Final Fantasy Tactics.
Ready? Go!
It's Final Fantasy Tactics for sure now. I do like Final Fantasy VII. I would say like top 3 Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy VII. I never beat 6. I played it a little bit. I know 6 gets a lot of love, but I think 6 is just a little bit before my time. Maybe I'll say top 3 Final Fantasy Tactics, 7, then 10. I'll put it like that. I like Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles too, though. That last, man, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles has one of the hardest bosses, man. That shit is so hard. Probably because the game was meant to be played with multiple players, so. But damn. 8 was my fave. Keistis, my OG waifu. Yeah, I think Keistis is easily the best girl out of Final Fantasy 8. Definitely the best girl. I just like every other Final Fantasy game. Persona games aren't worth it for the vast majority of people over 20 years old. Come on, Hellbreaker. I'm not surprised you would say that, though. Mr. Ninja Gaiden. Dark Souls Master, Bloodborne. I think it just might not be your cup of tea. You seem to be more into like manly McMahon games. Not girly little JRPGs. 4 has a lot of fans. I know. Oh, 4 is, man. Look, don't get it twisted. I know to put some respect on 4's name. I'm just saying, man. 3 just is it for me. That's just my baby. Baby. Best battle theme, by the way. Persona 5 has the worst battle theme out of the 3, 4, and 5. Persona 5 has the worst battle theme. It starts off good, but then it relaxes too much in the middle. The battle theme doesn't stay up tempo enough for me.
Finish!
I know I'm way behind
Oh, man,
comments.
so close. You almost
I hope
had
people
it.
stop talking for a while.
Here's your prize.
Oh damn.
Thanks.
Oh man. Okay. Being a neat is cool and all.
Let's get
But when I saw that big ass blonde girl that I posted on Discord, I lost my mind. I don't care much for relationships or kids, but man, I want to bang these blonde babes.
Gotcha.
I'm too
Today
straight
you
for
gotta
this
move
neat
cargo
shit. I just
between
want to bang
warehouses.
hot blondes
Gotcha.
while playing
First
World of
take a crate
Warcraft.
from here over to warehouse number 8.
That
And
big
unload
ass
it there.
blonde. I guess I didn't
Then
see
take a
that.
crate from warehouse number 8
Big
to
ass
warehouse
blonde girl.
number
I guess I didn't
18.
see that.
You know where that is, right?
I take this to warehouse
But
number
I
8.
see what you're saying,
And I
though.
take number 8 cargo to warehouse number 18.
I see what you like.
But careful you don't get mixed up.
Every
It's
now
only
and
written on the
then,
map.
I see a girl that's just so attractive. Every now and then, I see a girl that's so attractive, and look, even with a job, right? I'm not a very attractive, high value man that girls want to date. I get that. I accept that. That's fine. But you know that when you buy into being a normie and you just play by the fucking rules, you know, get your job, get a nice paying job, and get a nice car that girls will think is cool, and you know, wear your Jordans or your Nikes. Dress how girls want you to dress. Talk how they want you to talk. You know, do everything. Just do everything according to what girls want you to be, right? If you do that, you can have, well, some guy, not all of us, but if you do that, you know, you might be able to get that fat ass blonde girl that you want, or that big booty, that big booty black girl, that big booty ebony queen, or that cute Asian, right? If you just play by the fucking rules, man, you might be able to have that. And sometimes I see a girl that's just so attractive, and it's like, you just know, because of the way you are, your lifestyle, your mentality, you can't have that. Right? You can't have that, especially not as a need, not even as a part-time janitor man / wannabe SoundCloud rapper. That's me. Right? It's off limits to you. You can't have that, right? And so yeah, I get, like, when you see that and you just like, man, I want that. But I think for me, just living my life the way I want to has just always been more important. It's always taken precedent, you know. It's that whole Joe Yabaki thing, right? He lives like a goddamn stray dog, but he's happy. He's fulfilled. He ain't got no hoes, no bitches. All he do is run around and fight people and get into trouble, but he's happy. And that's how I feel, right? I'll take the Joe Yabaki path over the normie path any day. But I feel you. I feel you, man. Every now and then you see a girl that's just like, damn. I saw one today. I was in Walmart. She probably was a bit older, maybe like in her 30s or something. But she had she was thick, light skin, thick. Right? And you know, that's what I can't have, because I'd rather be myself, you know. I'd rather do what I want to do instead of playing by the rules, right? I walk the path that I want to walk. I can't have that. That's not, you know, it's not for me. And that's fine, but I see what you mean, though. I know what you mean. Like, I see what you mean, but you know, that's not to discourage you. You do what's important to you, man. If that's really what you want, hey, man, do what you got to do. And I might have said this before, but no matter what I say, as far as when I talk about MGTOW and red pill and talk about toxic women, the simple fact is I don't want it bad enough. You know, I don't care what nobody tells you about girls and you know, toxic and again, that's valuable information. But the main thing that you'll find with guys who go their own way, monk mode, Voset, whatever the case may be, we just don't want it bad enough. That's really because when you really want something, the risk involved tends to not matter. The effort doesn't matter, right? When you really want something bad enough, you'll go ahead and do it. And I've said this since How to Be a Neat. I've never seen a vagina. I've never tried to discourage guys from trying to date or pursuing women and playing the game. You know, I just give my observation of the game as I see it, and I express why I don't play. But I always tell guys, don't try to be like me. Go if you want it that bad, go for it. You know, don't try to be like me. Because the simple fact is, I don't want it bad enough to work for it. Ain't no way. The sting of that feel with no girlfriend is not that damn strong, right? I could see a girl kind of like what Keisma was talking about, right? Like that kind of girl that's like, damn, I might see one of those every now and then, and I'll feel that feel with no girlfriend temporarily. Then I'll go home and I'll turn on some music, eat some snacks, play a video game, make a beat, whatever. And before I know it, I'm back in my zone. I'm back in my element. And I'll think back to that moment and I'll be like, damn, I don't even give a fuck about it no more. Right? And so I know how to be I know how to be happy. I know how to make myself happy and enjoy life. I don't need a relationship. I don't need to have sex to be happy. So stuff like that don't get to me. Like it don't bother me. You know, I'm not immune to that feel with no girlfriend, but it's not going to get in the way of me being happy either. Because by the time I get back in my zone, I don't forgot about it. Like right now, like, I don't give a fuck. I couldn't care less right now. I'm playing Shenmue, hanging out with my homies. I'm playing Shenmue, hanging out with my homies. I ain't, once I get back in my flow, I don't care about shit like that. But yeah, when you out in the world and you see a bombshell, and it's like, damn. Video and women are distractions to true purpose. There's a lot of truth to that, but I will say, I understand that it's important not to let things like video games completely consume you.
Lunchtime, eh?
That's why, I always make an effort to make sure I'm not, like, you guys notice I'm very selective about what game I'm playing at a particular time. I got a whole stack up there, but I'm always selective about what I'm gonna play because I like, and it's always based on how many hours I think I'm gonna have to invest into it and things of that nature. And so while I love video games, and I've had a lot of fond memories playing them, I do think that it's important that you find a good balance too. Because, and especially now with just it's just overabundance of great games with so much content, it can be very easy to let it consume you. And I try to avoid that. And my way of avoiding that is just to make sure I play like a few games like 2 or 3 games at a time, right? And even then, like, those games will be balanced according to how much time invested is necessary. Like,
What?
I would never play Skyrim and Cyberpunk 2077 at the same time.
Now. Try again later.
Okay.
Like, there's no way I can play Skyrim, Cyberpunk, and Persona 5 like, I'm not gonna get anything done. But I can fit one game like that into my schedule, and maybe like another game on the side for the gaming channel. Play a fighting game every now and then. But yeah, you definitely got to be careful with that shit because it can take up a lot of your time. But again, I enjoy playing video games, and I've had so many fond memories playing them. I like video games. I like video games, I like porn, I like anime, but you got to make sure you don't let it get in the way. And that's the key. Now, women, I don't have any. I have no problem with that. That's not an issue. I don't think we got to worry about that one, guys.
I'm afraid you're disrupting the work.
I'm afraid.
No loitering allowed. All right.
Yuri is the pro tag. Yeah, 8 Liger has lesbian undertones. I got you. PS1 Persona games are too dragged out. That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's accurate. Pinpoint accuracy there. You said you're looking for a new jobs, Marco. What do you plan on doing in the future? I mean, you know, other than pursuing my grand purpose of world domination, just get a job. Really, as far as getting a job, I'm not gonna be too picky. I want to avoid fast food for sure, but the thing is, I didn't expect that I would like the janitor job so much. And so it kind of was a lesson that, you know, you never know. You never know sometimes, right? The job was random as fuck, and I really liked it. And so I'm just like, you know, I'll just try different things out and hope I can just find something that I like. So I'm looking at it from like a broad perspective. Just I'm looking at it like I want to just try out different things and just see if I can find something that I like, as opposed to just drawing a conclusion before I even give it anything a try. But that's kind of how I'm looking at it. You know, like, you know, worst comes to worst, you know, just quit and try something else. But I had no idea I was gonna like my janitor job as much as I did. You know, I mean, when I say I liked my job, I really did. I liked it.
Hey.
I really liked it.
Well, looks like you've got the hang of things.
Yeah, guess so.
And that's a very
How long
valuable
you
thing
planning
to be able to
continue
say.
working here.
I haven't decided yet, but not too long.
I see.
How about yourself? How long you plan on working here?
I'm thinking I'll stay for the immediate future. Everyone's so nice and all.
Yes, they are.
Oh, I'm just chopping it up with my coworkers at the harbor. Two foreigners I rarely see a part of Long Jaw here hanging around the cafeteria. So I'm gonna keep hanging around this cafeteria area to see. Seems like this is where I want to be. But I don't think anything's gonna happen just yet, to be honest. I'm a gameplay guy. Stories should follow the tune and dance of gameplay cohesively and complementary. I think the difference though with Persona is that it's literally split between the two, right? It's not a pure gameplay game. It's literally half story, half gameplay. So the story and the cast elements are really important because it's not your typical kind of game where the primary focus is the gameplay, and like you said, the story is complementing it or whatever. It's literally split. So if I play Persona 4, I got to deal with the fact that I don't really want to experience the story again, and that's literally half the game, like literally. So when you talk about Persona, I gotta have that other half. I gotta want to, I have to want to desire to experience the story again, because you really can't escape that. That's an essential part of the game. And I think out of all the Personas, 4 is the last one I want to play again for the story. The last one. I could play Persona 3 now, Persona 5 now. I'd rather play 1 and 2 before I play Persona 4 again. Just being real. I'd rather play any Persona game before I play Persona 4. Despite its more polished gameplay compared to its predecessors, I'd rather play any other Persona than Persona 4. I have no desire to experience that story again. None whatsoever. At least not now. It'll be like another 5 years before I want to play Persona 4 again. And again, not saying like it's terrible. I'm just saying I once was more than enough. Once was enough, for sure. Oh boy.
Back to work.
Being a wage slave normally makes me feel nihilistic about life, but now being a neat
First, take the cargo
is
to
making me feel
warehouse number
nihilistic
8.
too. I can
Then go
only
to
goon
warehouse
off for
number
so
18.
much until I begin questioning my own existence. But you gotta find some purpose in life. You know, alpha male strategies. He always say purpose, purpose, purpose. Find your purpose. Work on your purpose, and you gotta find a sense of purpose in life, and that'll give your life more meaning. You know. Because really, I felt the same way. I think what really changed for me was, I would say when I was in my late teens, probably, I would say around the age of 20, like 18, 19, 20, 21, around that. Yeah, I'll say around like around 18, something like that. You know, I realized that despite everything that I had been through growing up, my circumstances were far from ideal. I looked at myself honestly and I said, you know what? I have a lot of potential as a man. And I wanted to realize that potential. And that's what got me into self-improvement. And I think that's where things started to change for the better for me. You know, it started with honest self-reflection and looking at myself in and out, up and down, the good and the bad and everything, and say, okay, like what are you really capable of, man? And I just felt like I believed that I was capable of a lot more than what I had demonstrated up until that point. And so I put effort into proving that. And you know, certainly I man, but from looking at that point to now, I could have done so much better. But still, in so many ways, I've done things that at least for me have been amazing and worthwhile. You know, learning how to make music and creating, not only learning but making music that people legitimately enjoy and listen to in their own free time. Getting in great shape, you know, getting myself in shape and watching my body transform into something impressive, and then seeing the people around me recognize that and compliment me, and seeing that the changes in how people would react to me, you know, things like that. And you know, reading and doing research, learning about different things as far as like the world and science and philosophy, come to understand different events, conspiracies and whatnot, spirituality and health. You know, watching my intellect and wisdom develop and grow, and really more than anything, my character. You know, how I deal with people, how I deal with conflict, overcoming my fears and insecurities. you know, learning how to deal with people better, learning how to socialize and express myself, how to stand up for myself, different, like just recognizing that I could be more than what I was and working towards that. That gave my life meaning. And that's something that as far as I can tell, can carry you throughout life, because you can always do something, you can always be better. I mean, certainly you got to fight against the inevitable decay of your physical body, but you know, there are always different things that you can do in different ways to express yourself, and different ways to improve in life, outside of just, you know, being a young hot stud like myself. Right? So just recognizing that there's so many possibilities in life as far as expressing yourself and developing yourself. I mean, man, that's where everything started for me. And as I started to uncover the potential that I believe was there, I started to develop a stronger love for myself and a greater appreciation for life. And I think that's really the foundation of who I am. You know, I think my sense of purpose has evolved since then, but that's the foundation. That's where it started for me. But before that, I was a neat playing Dreamcast, eating candy every day, watching horror movies, and that was fun. Don't get it twisted. I had a blast. Oh boy. Playing Dreamcast all damn day, jacking off, shit posting. Man, I still do a lot of that. But when I got into self-improvement, that's when my life definitely took a turn for the better. I mean, it wasn't smooth sailing by any means. You know, but that was the turning point for me. That was the turning point. The newer JRPGs are over 100 hours easily. I know. It's like you gotta accept that. You play a JRPG now, you gotta know. Okay, that's 100 hours. That's 100 hours. That's 80 to 100 hours. And so, you know, you guys will recommend me games, and don't think that I don't hear you. But when I hear somebody recommend me a JRPG, I gotta, you know, I mean, I gotta put that on the back burner, because I already know what it, and I already got enough games right now as it is, man. I haven't even taken Grand Theft Auto 5 out of the wrapper, right? I have still got Monster Hunter sitting up there. I played it a bit, but never really got into it. And again, that's, come on now, that's 100 hours right there. Bought Skyrim again, big mistake. Right, 100 hours right there. I got Dragon Quest. That's a man. Come on, that's quintessential JRPG. 100 hours. Was it Dragon Quest 11 or something? 100 hours. I mean, come on. And that's not even considering the. Here we go. This is it right here. This is it right here, guys. I promise you, this is it. I'm about to get fired.
It's them.
This is it. Guys, we finally did it. This is it. I promise you. If I'm wrong, I'll do 100 push-ups.
I got a question. You know about the long jaw?
What? What did you say?
You know.
You know.
I don't know. Hey. Hey, wait!
Man, no wonder Rio got fired for this shit, though. He got off the forklift to go chase some guys around and fight
I'll
them.
get rid of him.
He stopped working to go fight this guy.
Idiot! You crazy!
Uh-oh.
You need help?
Oh, that guy's tough.
What? What?
That Pedro dude, man. I'm pretty sure he's like a big mini boss later. And he will beat your ass.
Wins the long jaw.
Look at this. It's no wonder Rio got fired.
Break your arm.
But I don't know, I swear.
He got off the forklift
Only the
and
boss
chased
of the Mad
some
Angels
foreigners
knows.
around
Who is the boss?
to strong arm them.
Terry,
Terry?
please.
Terry
Don't tell
Bogard?
anyone that I told you. Or they'll send me to the bottom of the sea. Oh,
Where is he?
I don't know. It's the truth. Terry's real careful.
Break my arm, pussy. You won't do it. Oh, fuck. I feel like he wouldn't have done it, though. Rio is just, he ain't soft, but he's too kind-hearted for that.
Got your pay.
See, here we go.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Yes?
Someone came to see you earlier.
Really?
Yes, a young man in a suit. He asked me to give this to you.
Thanks.
By the way,
The Mad Angels are after you. Beware.
oh boy.
Guizan.
Guizan.
Ah, the long jaw. Maybe Master Chin knows about it.
Hey guys, I was wrong. Fuck! I thought that was the scene where you get, look, the next one. It's gotta be the next one. It's gotta be the next one.
Master
But
Chin.
I was
Is
wrong.
Landy coming for the long jaw?
Why do you know about Long Jaw?
I got it out of the Mad Angels. So, is Landy coming?
Landy has nothing to do with the Long Jaw.
Only the lowest Geo members are
Damn.
involved.
But Terry and his gang have arranged transport for Landy to a ship.
He's acting as a guide for Landy so as to ingratiate himself with the Geo men.
Oh, fuck.
Terry and his gang already know about you. And that you're trying to stop the long jaw.
The items we deal in are expensive. Paintings, calligraphy, antiques, gems. Terry's gang deals in contraband. The next big shipment is drugs.
If they get established, our market will be destroyed.
If our trade route is disturbed, it will cause trouble for us in China.
So, now you see. Go home before you get hurt.
I can't do that.
Someone as young as you should not be involved.
Tell me when the long jaw is.
I cannot tell you. But if you can be patient and listen to my counsel, no harm will come to you.
Father,
As written in the letter to his father, I'm bound by my promise to Zhu Yuanda. I will hear no more of this today.
Very well. I'll back off for now.
Your father would not have wanted you to throw your life away so senselessly.
Okay, I knocked out 50. I owe you guys 50 more. Oh boy. Shit. I thought that was it. It had the sad, like brooding music. Damn. We ain't never about to we ain't never gonna lose this job. I'm building this forklift forever. It's still not over, man. Okay. I need to find a guy named Terry. Shit. It's still not over.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. My pro boxing trial exam is soon.
Oh, a boxer. Look at him. Marco, please. This game is torture. It is. I know. Right now, yeah. Right now, for sure. I don't blame you for saying that. This again, it's, I don't mind it. I don't mind it personally. Because when you first play this game, there's still like so much you don't know about the world. And so, yeah, you got to do the forklift stuff, but when you get off work and you have your money, you can go explore and do different things around the what's it, a city, a town? and do different things and explore and talk to people and just trying to figure things out, right? But oh god, look at Goro.
Hey,
What's groovin', bro?
something I need to ask you.
Sorry, brother. I'm a bit busy now.
See you later.
Sorry.
Sorry. But yeah, right now I'm really trying to advance the story as fast as I can. And this part in particular is the most difficult. And what I'm realizing now, because I never played this game like this. I never played it trying to advance the story as quickly as I could. I always took my time and enjoyed the parts of the game where there wasn't much going on.
Sorry. I'm working, son.
And really, that's why I had a completely different perception of this particular part. Because I didn't mind when he got the job because you would get the money and then you would just have enough money to do whatever you wanted. You could, anything that required money, you had access to now. Buying the scrolls and different capsule toys and whatnot, and just trying to win rare prizes and whatnot. And again, the whole exploration aspect of it. But when you're playing it, again, just trying to advance the story purely, yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Do you know of a man named Terry?
Nah, sure don't. Who is he?
I think he's the boss of the Mad Angels.
Terry? Sorry, man. Never heard of him.
It's alright. See ya.
I want to hear the Japanese voices in this game now that I think about it. Is there an option for that? Is there an option for that? You probably can't just turn it on in the middle of the game, though. You know how that go. But what if? You never know. Oh, you can.
I ain't feeling. Come on back.
I see.
Oh wait, I fucked up now. Let me see. Okay, so I changed the voices to Japanese.
おじさん
Ah!
考え事をしとるんじゃ構わんでくれんかの
Oh, this is great. It's like a whole new game all of a sudden.
あの
I
も
know.
う帰ることにしたんだ。今日は全然釣れなくてね。
I should have been played this game in Japanese. The hell was I smoking? I gotta see what Mark sounds like in Japanese, bro, because he's black and not even fake black. He's black black.
テリーのこと何か分かったらすぐ教えるよ。
ああ、ありがとう。
りょ
なんだ。
う、better watch out。気をつけろよ。なんだか悪い予感がするんだ。
予感？
ただの気のせいだといいんだが。
わかった。用心するよ。
His Japanese is excellent, but I noticed they threw in a couple English words in there too. They always do that for American characters or English characters. They'll have them speak Japanese for the most part, but then they'll throw in a few lines of English dialogue. The Japanese voices are so much better. Oh my god. Man. I'm just gonna enjoy this for a while. You guys gonna have to bear with not understanding shit for a while, 'cause this is funny to me. That is so funny to me. That's great.
Hmm? 当たりだ。
Ah, winner. Oh, 当たりだ. Kanji best Persona bro, but most cast in Persona 4 are lame. Your Kanji's cool. And isn't it Ann? Isn't it Ann? Five's cast is worse than two's in my opinion. You know, I'll say this. Two. If they did a remake of 2, I would agree. If they did a remake, I think 2's cast would shit on 5. I think the only thing about it is that because 5 came out so much later, as far as like the amount of time dedicated to fleshing out the characters compared to the earlier Persona games, right? That's why I would have to give the edge to 5. But if they did a Persona 2 remake, yeah, I would, yeah. If they remade Persona 2's cast, and if we're ignoring like character development aspects, right, and we're focusing completely on just the cast as far as like a visual, like how they look, and just like the more superficial side of it, then yeah. Persona 2 had a sick cast, for real. Futaba and Ryuji are the only ones I like. Makoto is a basic bitch and is boring and worse than Risei. Plus, they did the whole blonde gaja native Japanese girl in 2. It's an overplayed trope. They did. Wow, I forgot about that. Wow, I forgot about her. You're right. I forgot all about her. Dragon Quests are for people who like to grind. Oh, right up my alley then. Marco, I highly recommend you try out World of Warcraft. Kiss me, I told you. I don't have 100 hours. I mean, God, Shenmue is already what this been like 20. This been like 20 hours so far, or 25 or something like that. Oh my God. I'm running around trying to find a guy named Terry.
ここで釣れるもんなんですか？
やっぱ何かあるのかな。 今朝から一匹も釣れないね。波が高いからかな。
Oh boy. All right. I gotta leave it on English for the people though. But the Japanese is already much better. Just seems more natural.
Get out of my way!
There's no point asking around here. Ain't nobody know no goddamn Terry. I'm like, please fire me. Please fire me. I love the junction system, but it was so easy to break. Just got annoyed with the card system. The problem with Final Fantasy VIII's battle system is that it's literally counterproductive to fight. That's the problem. Because the game has level scaling. So as you level up, the enemies level up with you. But because of the junction system, you can make your character stronger throughout the game without ever leveling up. And so because of that, it's literally foolish to fight regular battles. You should run away from just about every battle. If you battle, just use battles to draw out magic to junction to your stats to make yourself stronger. But other than that, you should never be fighting regular battles.
I should go home.
It's literally counterproductive. Because all you're doing is making the enemy stronger. As you level up, you're only making the enemy stronger. It's much more efficient to just only use regular battles for drawing out magic and then running away. Because leveling up only makes the game harder. And you don't need to level up because of the junction system. You can make yourself stronger by junctioning magic to your stats. And you combine that with the GF abilities, you still get AP from bosses. Right? So when you defeat bosses, you get plenty of AP to level up your unlock GF abilities that give you more ways to break the game. All the while never leveling up. Or leveling up very rarely. And I'm not sure. And this is probably the stupidest thing. If I'm remembering correctly. Bosses don't give you experience points. So when you defeat bosses, you don't get experience points, which means that the fights that you have to fight don't even level you up. You just get AP. It's Final Fantasy VIII is a joke. It's battle. Oh my god, it's the worst.
I purchased that scroll from a martial arts expert. Said to
Final Fantasy VIII has the worst battle system I have ever played. It's worse than a limited saga. Man, I wanted to like Unlimited Saga so bad. Oh man, I wanted to like that game so bad, but it's way too. That game takes convoluted to new heights.
I'll take this.
Thank you very
Oh
much.
god,
I heard that this move.
there's
was
so
left by
many
a
random
Jujutsu
elements to
fighter,
that game,
but it
and
was
it's
too
just
difficult for
again
anyone
just
to
convoluted.
master.
Marco had GTA 5 this whole time. Yep. I chose Shenmue over GTA 5. I've had GTA 5 for probably like almost a year now or something like that.
Another time. Looks like they're about to close.
Oh, I see. Okay. Dude, this game is testing my patience and I'm not even playing. Look, I don't blame you. I don't blame you, but I'm just saying it's not as bad when you're playing it normally. But right now we're trying to just get through the story. We're pushing forward, and this part, because again, I've never done this before. Whenever I got here, I always took my time. I was never too concerned with trying to get it done as quickly as possible. I always took my time so I could stack money and just explore and have fun. But yeah, I'm seeing now that if all you want to do is get through the story, this part is definitely going to put a stop to that. It's because it's like events only happen very sparingly right now. It's like one thing will happen and then a whole day goes by and nothing happens, and then two more things happen, and it's very slow right now. In terms of story progression, it's very slow. Granted, I probably could have done things better if I remember certain things, but still, this is man. I had no idea this part would take so long. That the forklift the forklift saga would be this long. I really didn't.
I should go out and get some fresh air.
Were you just with Nozomi-san?
No, something happened to her?
Well, Haida-san just phoned.
Oh yeah, this is a big event right here.
And
This is big though.
Nozomi-san hasn't come home.
This is big.
What?
Nozomi-san said she was meeting you. Haida-san said she can't reach Nozomi-san.
This is big right here. So basically, Nozomi gets
Hello?
kidnapped
It's you.
and we gotta rescue her.
Terry's waiting.
Who is this?
So
Yeah,
this is
meet us behind warehouse
this
number
is basically
17.
the end of the forklift saga.
No, Rio, it's a trap.
Because once Nozomi gets
Nozomi.
kidnapped, there's not much left.
If you
There's not much
show,
left with the whole
I'll make
forklift
her
saga.
cry.
Don't you dare touch her.
I'll give you 4 hours, or else. Behind warehouse number 17.
Ine-san, I gotta go.
Ryo-san.
If I don't
In
leave
Japanese
Oita by
version,
3,
Ryo
I'll
sounds
never
less
make it.
autistic than his English counterpart. He does, yeah. The English voice acting is charming but bad in this game. Man, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. This is the latest Ryo has ever been out in this game. So yeah, Nozomi gets kidnapped here, and we got to go rescue her. And but now I'm very sure that Nozomi getting kidnapped pretty much marks the end of the forklift saga. Because once you overcome this ordeal, once you overcome this particular ordeal, there really isn't much left to do. At least as far as, again, when you're working as a forklift driver. Because I do remember Nozomi being kidnapped is supposed to be the big climax to this particular part of the game.
Excuse me.
Sorry, I'm in a hurry.
Damn, I ain't never seen that guy before. He's a 1 o'clock NPC.
Hello? Ona-san. It's me, Ryo.
Who's that? You know what time it is?
Oh, Ryo, what is it?
Can I
Oh,
borrow
the
your
old.
motorcycle?
My hog. She's broke down now.
Damn.
She's being fixed.
Do you have any others?
Nah, they're all taken apart.
Oh shit.
I know. Go over to Naoyuki's house.
No.
I just finished fixing his hog.
Now Yuki's. Thanks.
Yeah, it was that motorcycle that we passed by in Sakuragaoka. Sakuragaoka. I like saying Dobuita more. It's easier. But yeah, this is the big climax to the forklift part, so it's fine. It's over, guys. I promise you. I promise you. I know I promised last time. And I will be punished for I will be punished for my sins. But I'm very sure because it doesn't get more epic than your girlfriend getting kidnapped. That's the last straw right there. Yep, there we go. Let's see, is this now Yuki's place?
I shouldn't bother them.
Can I just hop on?
Yes, who is it?
It's Ryo.
Ah, Ryo-chan, just a moment.
Dubs are for normal plebs. Some anime sound better in Japanese too. I would argue that Naruto Shippuden sounded better
Hey,
in
Ryo.
Japanese.
What's up? I need a favor.
I've noticed
Oh, sure.
most
Come on
anime sounds better in
Can't.
Japanese.
I'm in a hurry.
But
Can I use your motorcycle?
when I first,
My motorcycle.
well, really,
Sure. Cash.
most
Thanks.
people, if we're being completely honest, most people, when they first start watching anime, it's with dubs.
Don't drive too fast.
Because
Later.
most of us got our start with Toonami, Adult Swim, with Maguzi, etc. And the dubs were good enough for us to like anime, right? Let's be real. Hold on. I can't talk at all now. This part is so fucking stupid. Well, it's not stupid, but it is. It's this part is challenging. I'll put it like that because they don't give you. I mean, you really cut it close, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna take me at least 3 times to do this because they really don't give you a lot of time. Initial D. Go Rio! Let's save the Zombie! Oh boy. I made it. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, man, you cut it close for real. They do not give you a lot of time to do that shit. I had to really focus. I told you guys this game was action packed. Look at this, I'm on a motorcycle. But he had to put on the lame hat, the lame helmet though. Before I get on the motorcycle and speed to rescue my girlfriend, I'll put on the helmet. I mean, look, safety first, but that's not exactly cool. Okay, guys.
Looks like we got a rat, eh?
What?
The king of the harbor don't like rats.
Like a sewer rat, always sniffing around.
Think we'd just let you pass?
Let's kick some butt. Pro tip, your health refills as long as you're not getting hit. So, you know, take time to heal up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. Let's continue. Now we walk into the gates of hell.
You made it, huh, boy?
Where's Nozomi?
What's your hurry?
It's about to be
Have
some
fun
NTR
with us.
going on. Look at me. Oh boy. Let's be cheap for a little while, please. I mean, look, if they're gonna sit here and jump me, at least I can do is use a cheap ass move on them. Yeah. Yeah, eat that. Oh, nice. Yeah. 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 Oh, shit. This battle took a turn for the worse. That guy, I swear, that guy in the blue camo shorts though, he's always a problem. And there we go. I am the Kung Fu Master.
I got you now. Enough. Oh, Terry, let me have some fun. Haven't had enough fun yet. Hey, you play with him.
Oh boy. What's his name again? Pedro?
That's okay. I'm cool.
Oh, no, Ryo.
Nozomi. Are you alright?
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all my fault.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
So you're Terry.
You're the tough little schoolboy, huh? Hear you messed up some of my boys pretty good. If I let you go, schoolboy, it sets a bad example.
Green, piercing eyes of a monster. You got a nice little
You're the one trying
RPG
to get
party there,
information
though.
about the long jaw. You're either real brave or you're real stupid.
I'm taking Nozomi home.
Sure, you can, but it's gonna cost you.
What?
My deal is, you gotta beat up Chin's son. Make it so he can't walk.
Guizhang?
Ah, so you know him, huh?
Why him?
He's in my way.
Your way?
As long as Chin's around, we won't be able to gain total control of the Hong Kong route. Is it a deal?
Alright.
Ryo, don't.
We gotta betray
one
our
more
friend
condition.
Guizhang.
Oh, yeah? It ain't enough to get the girl back.
You take me to Landi.
This kid's got a death wish. He's got some screws loose.
What do you say? I know you're the one that guided Landi.
This is some good plot right here.
There's more to schoolboy than Mr.
And Hellbreaker left right
You
before
take me to
things got good.
Landi, then it's a deal.
Ryo.
I mean, look, you gotta admit the payoff is
But
good.
only after you take out Guizhang.
Don't forget!
Hey, I ain't no street punk. When Terry of Yokosuka speaks, he means what he says.
I'm taking her home.
Fine.
Let's go.
Thanks for saving me.
Ah, rescue my girlfriend.
But I won't let this go.
Diablo gives you encounter none, and yet it's easy to play low level. Yeah, you get Diablo and unlock his encounter none ability, and then you don't even have to worry about random encounters anymore. I mean, come on, you don't even have to worry about running away. You only have to fight or engage in random encounters so you can draw magic. I'm going to go pee because this part is really soft. Yeah, girl. I ain't about to listen to this. Whoa. I have Dragon Quest 7 and 8, but they both are so long. You might enjoy them. Push forward, push. Push. What was that for? Was that for the motorcycle part? You're good, Marco. I had another tab the entire time, and I was just gooning off to hot babes. Gundam Wing dub is better than the sub, in my opinion. Oh, no. Whoa. But you know what? I respect your opinion. But I recently watched Gundam Wing like last year, and I tested out that damn dub, and I was like, whoa, boy. But, oh yeah, the point I was going to make, though, was that we grew up watching dubbed anime, and it was good enough that it made us still enjoy the anime despite the fact that it was dubbed. I think that it's one of those things where it's not until you listen or watch an anime subbed in its original Japanese voices that you begin to appreciate the subs over the dubs. But like I said, most of us got into anime because of dubbed anime. I think it's more of an issue of comparison. When you compare the average English dub to a Japanese to the Japanese dub or the English sub version or the sub version, the Japanese just sounds better. It fits better, it sounds better, it's less cringy. I don't know if it's better because we don't understand it or if it's literally just a better quality voice actors. But it just seems to be better more often than not. But I think that given the nature of most anime, and let's be honest, most anime is not like it's some deathly serious cinema. It's not like you're watching Shawshank Redemption or Green Mile. I think for most anime, the dub really is good enough. If you just don't take it too seriously. But I know that it's hard to choose the dubbed version over the sub version when you recognize the difference. Because I remember when I first really got into anime, and I'm not talking about like the Toonami Adult Swim days, like when I got my computer and my internet and I started watching anime streams and downloading them, initially I would go straight for the dub. If I couldn't watch something that was dubbed, I just didn't watch it at all. But it got to a point where I really didn't have a choice with certain shows. If I wanted to see it, I had to watch it subbed. Like Ashita Nojo, for example, there is no official dub release, so you're not gonna be able to watch that unless you watch it subbed. And that's really what got me to transition from watching anime subtitled to dub. I mean, that's what got me to transition from dubs to subs. Was being forced to watch subtitled anime because of certain shows that just did not have an English dub. And that's when I started to realize the difference. Like, oh, it just sounds better. It just sounds better. But the other thing too, and I think this is the biggest issue with English dubs. It's not even the subpar quality of voice acting. I can live with that, to be honest with you. With most shows anyway. But it's the limited number of voice actors that they use. I really just got tired of hearing the same voices in every damn anime. I'm watching Berserk and I hear Goku. Right? Like, it was that sort of thing. Like, damn, I don't want to hear Goku when I'm watching Berserk. I don't want to hear the guy who played Light Yagami in every goddamn anime. Like, it's just it just got to be too much. That was the main thing. I can live with subpar voice acting. That's not a big deal, especially for like the average anime that's just more so about just fun fights and hijinks and battles anyway. But hearing the same voice actors over and over again, that's really what killed my. That's what killed my allegiance to the Dub family, the Dub clan, the Dub world. That's what did it. I got tired of hearing the same voices every time I watched a new show. Now I know that in Japan, voice actors they get around too. They play in different shows as well, but it's definitely much harder to notice. Had to promise Terry I beat up Shin Guizan tomorrow at 10 p.m. Go to warehouse number 9. Okay. Yep, I gotta prepare to defeat Guizan. Damn, he's a yeah. Now I should be getting fired very soon. Rio driving that motorcycle like a damn stiff robot. Yes, exactly. That's what happens when you insert some sort of racing mini game.
Hey,
oh shit!
Working hard at the harbor today, eh?
My best friend Tom.
What's wrong? You seem kind of blue.
No, I'm alright.
Okay. Tell you what. You come on by later and let me treat you to lunch.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, now we're getting fired.
Have a seat.
Sure.
It's finally over, guys. We can rest easy. No more forklifting.
Sorry, but I'm gonna have to ask you to resign.
Am I fired?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Why?
You see, there's been a mess of trouble since you started. Now, I know it ain't all your fault, but, well...
And?
When trouble starts affecting my company, that's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yes, I understand. Thank you for everything.
That's how I left my job, except my boss was a raging bitch. Oh boy, I should check with everybody. But you know what? We're actually very close to the end of the game, because the end of the forklift saga is close to. Like we're not that far from the very end of the game.
Hey, Rio!
Tom.
It's cold. I'll get you some coffee, okay?
I don't feel like coffee today.
Hey, Rio, look!
Tom, what was that leg move?
A friend taught me this. It's a tornado kick. You want me to teach you?
Definitely.
Yeah, teach me.
Oh, Tom is so chill.
Okay, it's your lucky day. First, the music. First, I'll teach you the steps. You watch carefully, okay? Step forward, step again, then kick. Okay? Very simple, okay? First, try the steps. You take 2 steps toward me. Okay? Okay, ma, nice steps. Next, after the second step, kick. Now, Rio, you try it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Pretty good for the first time. But that's just like you, Rio.
Thanks, Tom.
No, no, no. This is how it's done, okay? 2 steps forward then. And second kick. This is the real tornado kick. Now, Rio, you try it, okay?
Tornado kick! It just so happens that Tom teaches you the coolest move in the
You
game.
got the rhythm now.
Thanks, Tom.
The tornado kick is very powerful, okay? This kick is perfect for when you're surrounded by multiple opponents. Do you want to practice longer?
I'm good, Tom.
No, that's okay.
Okay! You mastered the leg move great.
You're a good teacher, Tom. Thanks. What's wrong?
Here we go, the bad news.
I got something I need to tell you, Rio.
Tell me what?
Tomorrow, I go back to America.
What? All of a sudden?
Not suddenly. I've been planning to for a while.
Tom.
Rio, why are you going on your trip? I bet it has something to do with your father.
Yeah.
I thought so. Me? I'm going back to my home. And you'll be leaving soon too. Nobody can stop you.
Tom.
Even though we part ways, you'll still be one of my best friends.
You're mine too.
Today's the last day for Tom's hot dogs. Get 'em while you can.
Yeah, I'll have one.
It brings a tear to your eyes. Oh boy, Tom, man, one of the coolest, most memorable characters from Shenmue 1. And there he goes.
My friend. Tom.
You know what's funny about Tom though is that because of the way Rio acts in this game, you get the sense that he's not really that close with anybody. But as a player, most players just love Tom. He's a fan favorite, right? But you don't really get the sense that Rio is best friends with him, even though he's someone that you'll talk to a lot just because he just stands out so much. But at the very end of the game, or near the end of the game, like Rio's like, dude, this is my best friend. like yeah, I love Tom just as much as the player does. And so it's just like, it's a good moment because you find out that
This way. Follow me.
Rio likes Tom just as much as you, the player. He just never expresses it until the end. So now we got to go beat up Guizan.
Here. Is Guizan coming here?
Guizan?
He passes through here.
I think it's
on his way
Guizan.
home from work.
Guizan. Okay, Guizan. Guizan. That's a cool name though. Guizan.
Here he comes.
I wish my name was Guizan.
I'm out of here.
Guizan.
Hazuki, why are you here?
I gotta
Guizan.
knock you
I want
out.
to fight you.
What? What are you talking about?
Ready?
What?
It's time to end this, Guizan.
Guizan, pretend to lose.
Say what?
Terry will take me to Land D.
You trust a punk like Terry?
Try to do the Tom move.
You'd be better off losing.
Lose to you?
Go down before you get hurt.
Guizan give me the business a little bit. Oh, he got a tornado kick too. This fight is epic. God damn. This is Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris. Oh God, Goku Vegeta.
What? By a kick like that?
You call that a kick?
Joe Yabuki Rikishi. This is epic. Oh my God. I feel like I'm not even controlling it, but I am. Normally I feel like I'm so whack.
You aren't?
You're on!
Bring it on. All right, Hazuki.
Well, come on.
You're going down, Guizan.
You know, you're not too bad.
Nor you. It's my lucky day. I'll get rid of both of you at one time. Just as I suspected.
Hey, can you move?
Let's settle our dispute later.
You're on.
Oh, this is so great. This is awesome.
That's low, Terry.
I will make you pay. You like me that much? Let me invite you to hell.
Wait!
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, see? At least I got backup this time.
Is Trouble your middle name?
Save your complaints for later.
Fine. Watch yourself.
You too.
You're still green, eh?
Thanks, Tom. Oh my God. Tom lives on in my feet. Oh, a challenger appears. Oh shit. The big combo.
Oh,
Who the hell said that? I think he's a boxer.
All tuckered out, are we?
Watch yourself!
Oh crap.
Shall I take them all on?
That's it!
He threw that damn box. This is like Streets of Rage now. This game turns into Streets of Rage all of a sudden. I will say the battle theme in this game is pretty dope. Oh!
Stay focused!
That was cool. Okay, I gotta be careful. This guy got a damn pipe. Oh shit. I gotta run away now. Oh shit. I'll be back to fight another day. Oh fuck.
You're pretty good.
That's the Hazuki style?
Woo, God. That guy was tough. I gotta rest up.
Hey, you okay?
Hey, you okay? Look at that guy with that damn barrel. Man, they just keep coming too. Yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting so I can refill health. I'm tired. I'm catching my breath. Yep, advance slowly. Come on, Guizan.
Not too bad!
Oh, there we go. The big dog is here.
I'll kill you!
Oh, shit. Nice. Damn. Shit. Drop kick. Where the hell Guizan go? Well, leave me to fight this giant. I can take him though. Oh, damn. Got him. Excellent work, Rio. You make your father proud.
Hazuki, stand back. This one is mine.
It's all yours, buddy.
Just who the hell you think you're dealing with? Yeah.
I'll take this. Gotta learn to fight fair.
Yeah, bitch. Oh my god.
Your left!
Yeah.
Finish him. Man, what an epic night. That's just great. Don't kill me.
Where is Landy?
Never give up, do you?
Tell me!
That creepy skinhead, he took him out to the ship.
What?
Too bad, huh? You want him that bad? You better start swimming.
Damn.
What Shenmue lacked was Ryo's ability to
After
joyride
all
around the
that,
city.
Still didn't get Landy. You're going after him? Well, I just can't give up. But how can I?
It was a
I'll
long
talk to
night.
my father.
At least the fighting isn't too hard. It's really not.
I'll
Glad the
ask my
forklift
father
saga is
to
over. I
help
enjoy
out.
watching Ryo fight like a damn Lego toy.
Really? Contact me later.
Yeah, we got
okay?
plenty of that.
Guizan,
The forklift saga was the highlight of the game for me, Kisame.
thank you.
It's not that bad when you're
That's
playing
not
it
right.
normally. I'll say it's really not. Because when you're playing it normally again, and especially when it's your first time, even though that period is drawn out, you still want that extra time to explore and do little extra things around the world that you can't do. You know, well, the few extra things you can do, right? And then again, just general exploration. So it's not that bad. But it's definitely not a great streaming experience as far as if you want to entertain people. Because it really is a job that you have to go to every day, and it's not exciting. The only cool thing about it is the money that you get from it. That crackhead dude still lurking around. Yeah, he's the boss of the game, actually. So he's the last fight. They never should have dubbed anime when it came to the States. They also should have never checked the email in sub either. I mean, they had to though. They had to. I don't think that, because you got to think about it. These cartoons were marketed towards children, and I don't think that they believed children wanted to read as they watched this stuff. And you got to think too. You come home. You're a middle school kid. You come home, and you pick up your Game Boy, and you're playing Pokemon, and then Toonami's on in the corner on the TV, right? And you're alternating between watching what's on TV and playing the game, playing your Game Boy or whatever, or you're just in your room looking at a magazine, whatever you might be doing, right? If you're watching subbed anime, you can't really enjoy it in a multitask situation where you just have it on in the background because you can't understand what's being said. I mean, I've done that every now and then, but I'll put it like this. If I'm trying to like if I'm just cleaning up and I just want something to be on in the background, I to this day I still put on dubbed anime. Right? If I'm cleaning up my room or I'm just doing stuff around the house, I'll put on dubbed anime. Because at least I can hear and understand what's going on. But if I'm focused on watching a series, I do prefer sub. But yeah, I think it was a matter of marketing. I don't think that they felt as if children were going to I don't think they felt as if children were going to gravitate towards cartoons that they had to read to understand. So it made sense. It made sense. It's something that I don't think most people will be willing to do until they become a teenager. I switched to subs after comparing the Ghost in the Shell Standing Alone Complex audio. The dub wasn't bad, but it feels natural more in Japanese. I think I might have watched Ghost in the Shell and dubbed as well. Because I think that was back when I was still on Team Dub. And I wasn't as bothered by or exposed to the frequent use of the same voice actors over and over again, and so I wasn't as annoyed by it then. But yeah, I do remember Ghost in the Shell is one of those shows where I think the dub is acceptable. And let me tell you this too, and I know I'm not the only one who says this. Cowboy Bebop, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And I'll go as far as say this: Cowboy Bebop, best anime ever, and one of the few cases you can make and say the dub is better than the sub. I'm not even lying. Of course, I grew up watching Cowboy Bebop dubbed, and I might have seen it at least about not even counting all the times I saw it on Adult Swim or Toonami. Even as an adult with the whole series downloaded, probably watched it dubbed twice, right? And then a few years ago, I decided to watch it subbed. And I noticed, bruh, like looking back, I'd rather watch Cowboy Bebop dubbed any day. It's no reason to watch Cowboy Bebop subbed. It's really not. That Cowboy Bebop has one of the best anime dubs ever. It's one of the few that you could claim the dub is better than the sub. I'm just being real. Come on, and I'm a sub guy. I'm a sub guy now. I've converted. I've changed religions. I found the one true God. But Cowboy Bebop is one of the few times I say the dub is better than the sub. It really is. And it's not so much the quality of the voice acting. Or rather, it's not that the quality of the voice acting is better than the Japanese. It's just that the quality of the voice acting is so good that you would obviously rather watch something without having to read it than to have to read it while watching. That's just an objectively better experience. And I think that the Cowboy Bebop dub is so good, there's no reason to watch it subbed when you can actually just watch it without having to read it. That's what makes it better. It's not necessarily that the quality is better. I would say quality-wise, they're pretty much on the same level. But you rather watch it without reading than having to watch it while reading. And that's what makes it better to me. I like the 4 kids. I think Bobby is a troll. Wait a minute. Who in Berserk has the same voice actor as Goku? It's one of the Band of the Hawk. One of the Band of the Hawk guys. It wasn't one of the most. It wasn't a big character. It was one of the Band of the Hawk members that died during the eclipse. So it wasn't like he was a big character, but I distinctly remember hearing Goku's voice several times while watching Berserk. But he wasn't a major character. He wasn't a major character. He was just one of the guys in the Band of the Hawk that had a few lines of dialogue, and I was like, that's the voice actor that does Goku. Leonardo DiCaprio was in a lot of movies as well. Does that take you away from movies like how dubs use similar voice actors? I put it like this: when you're talking about the world of movies in general, you're talking about tons and tons of movies with tons and tons of different actors. Leonardo DiCaprio might be in a lot of different movies, but it's not like every other movie you watch is going to have Leonardo DiCaprio in it, right? The world of anime, that's a small world right there. And then when you're talking about dubbed anime in particular, it's even smaller. So we're talking about anime, which is, again, a small little world. And then you break that down into dubbed anime. And then you break that down into the shows that are actually worth watching. You hear the same 3, 4, 5 people in every single fucking anime. Big difference. Big difference. Right? I can say, okay, I want to watch a movie. What's good? Right? And then I could watch 100 movies before I find a movie that Leonardo DiCaprio is in. You feel me? I can watch 100 good movies and not run into a single Leonardo DiCaprio film that he's in. If you're watching anime dubbed, you want the good shows, you're not going to be able to avoid the same handful of actors. You're not. You're going to hear them, especially when you're talking about anime of the previous generation, like the anime that came out in the 90s and 2000s. Oh my God. Oh my God. Because I'm telling you, I've been through this. I've been through this. I was a dub guy. And I got sick of hearing the same people. So that's why it's an issue. Because you're talking about anime, which is a small world, and running through the same voice actors again and again and again and again and again and again and again. OBS disconnected too. I was ranting and I just noticed it disconnected. We're back. Oh yeah, okay. OBS disconnected. It happens. We'll be all right. Japan has different voice actors for each. Now, Japan does have... I think the thing about Japan has a larger pool of voice actors to pull from. because anime is obviously bigger in Japan than it is in America. You notice with American cartoons, you don't have that same issue of the overuse of certain actors for the most part. So when you're talking about actors that are selected or voice actors that are selected to do Japanese dubs, again, it's a small pool. I don't know why it's like that. Maybe they have a union thing so they can keep all the money in a small circle. But in Japan, you got to understand, they have a larger audience and a larger pool of voice actors to select from. So they're not as bound to using these same handful of actors again and again. Now I know that there are standout voice actors in Japan that are used more frequently than others. It does happen. But they also have a larger pool to select from. Because one, again, that's the home of anime. And stuff like that is taken more seriously over there. Over here, we dub it just to dub it and sell it to Americans, right? You got to understand, dubbing anime for Americans or anywhere else is more about just making it just making it more digestible for the casual viewer. In Japan, selecting voice actors is much more of a serious endeavor because it's part of the artistic vision for the actual anime. They want to make sure that they get the right voice actor for the right because it's so the whole process is there's a much higher standard to the process of selecting voice actors in Japan than there is in America. Because again, in America, it's about just making it suitable for the casual audience. In Japan, it's part of the artistic vision of the actual show. So I think there's more care put into it. And over here, it's just like, whatever. Why is the date 12/2? I forgot to change the date. I was so busy getting that cool thumbnail. I'm going to put Street Fighter 3 with the Shenmue cover, and that's going to be cool. I did that and forgot to change the date. That's what happened. Imagine watching Keanu Reeves on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He played a very goofy role and then watch him transition to more serious roles like Neo in The Matrix and John Wick. Yeah, but it depends on when you grew up, right? So for me, Keanu Reeves is Neo, right? Like that's when I started to notice him, when he started getting those more serious roles. I wasn't really aware of his past, his Bill and Ted past, right? I knew of those movies, but my first big Keanu Reeves experience was The Matrix. I still remember I was at my grandma's house. I was watching it with my two aunts. Maybe my cousin and sister were there. I was surrounded by women. And yeah, I think that was my first real exposure to Keanu Reeves. So I didn't see him go from like goofy Bill and Ted to John right to John Wick. Oh yeah, Lawrence Fishburne and when he was on Pee-wee's Playhouse. Yeah, but you know, sometimes you got to start from the bottom and work your way up, you know? It's hard to see an actor play the most goofy, humiliating role, then transition into a more serious and cool role. It's like when people look at Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger when they were in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4 movie. That shit is so dumb. It's so dumb. And now Matthew McConaughey is like considered an elite actor, right? Best of the best. I'm sure he's probably won some important awards by now. But he got his start playing Vilmer in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4. It's crazy. It's funny how when in a fight you see Rio all serious, but when he's talking to old ladies, he acts more aloof. Yeah. I think his true personality comes out when he's fighting, though. That because he seems much more expressive, even with the strange English dub that this game has. Strange but charming. I'll give it, that credit. There does seem to be like a switch when he's in fight mode. He's much more expressive. When he gets serious and angry, yeah, it's like he's a much more or less of a robotic character when it's time to fight, and when he's threatening to break people's legs and stuff. Cowboy Bebop is definitely better dubbed. The anime is just too American for it not to be dubbed. Yeah. It definitely drew a lot of inspiration from American culture, American music. Yeah, for sure. When you look at even the characters, right? It's not like an all Japanese cast of high school students. It's all, you got black characters, white, Asian, half white, Asian. Like, it's really a melting pot of different ethnicities and things like that. And it's in space, and they're all over the place. They go from the Earth to space and this and that and Jupiter, and like as far as like what it takes so much from different cultures, that I think it really does. A dub just suits it, really suits it. Spike's dubbed voice is iconic. It is, but he's the guy who did the voice of Spike. He's one of those characters those voice actors that shows up a lot in dubbed anime. He shows up a lot in dubbed anime, so I'm sick of his ass. I got confused when I watched Shutter Island and Inception within the same week. I forgot which DiCaprio was which. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's the same guy. If I get a girlfriend, I would definitely have her watch Cowboy Bebop to test if she is worth keeping. I would like to have a girl that I could share interests with. I remember that cashier girl that was hitting on me. We started talking about anime before she asked for my number. If I was gonna bang her, I would have invited her to come watch anime. I think that was the that would have been the ticket to get in her pants. I would be like, "Oh, you wanna come watch Tokyo Ghoul?" Dylan, thanks for the super chat. Look, 4 hours and 20 minutes of work, I get $2. It's fantastic. Chad, was Kanye right or what? Was Kanye right or what? Damn. I didn't think we were gonna go here. We were gonna go here tonight. I'm gonna wrap up soon. But look, you could say Kanye made some valid points, but I don't think that's really what matters as far as the whole Kanye situation. It's not about whether you agree with him or not. at least to me, it's the fact that he's a famous, influential person and said very controversial things that will essentially get you blackballed and ostracized from the inner circle of Hollywood and mainstream media, whether you're talking about music, film, clothes, etc., right? He went against the beast basically. And I think the value of what he did is not about whether you agree with him or not. It's the fact that he said it and he stood on it. And that's what we need. I think what he did was a victory in terms of freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Because right now we live in a society where people are so afraid to talk about certain things or express certain opinions because it'll be used against them. You'll be canceled. You'll be silenced. You'll be deplatformed. We see it happening all the time. On the next podcast, the news segment is talking about Elon Musk purchasing Twitter and the various ups and downs that have come about because of that. But one thing I read was that, you know, his reasoning for purchasing Twitter was because he knows that Twitter is a very important platform as far as the internet. But he was worried because of all the censorship and the silencing and the deplatforming that was going on. And he feels like there is a shift in our culture that is going against freedom of speech. And he recognizes the importance of that. And that's part of the reason why he purchased Twitter. And one of the first things he did was give Donald Trump and Jordan Peterson and several people who got deplatformed, he gave them back their Twitter accounts. Because quite frankly, they were deplatformed because of wrongthink. You know, 1984 shit. Ain't that what it's called? 1984? They got deplatformed for wrongthink. And so what Kanye West did, again, I don't look at it in terms of, well, he was right about it. We could talk about the right. We can talk about Jewish conspiracies and this and that, right? And pornography, different points, religion. He talked about several different things. But I think the value of it, when I looked at Kanye and what he's been doing, that is a man who does not give a fuck. He's on some Patrice O'Neal shit. As far as like that's a man who he's just like, I don't care. Take my money, take my endorsements, take my sponsorships, slander me in the media. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to speak my mind. And I think that's the value of what he did. We can debate the specifics of the points he was trying to make. That's fine. But the value of it was that he said it. He said it and he went against the beast as one of the most influential, famous people in the world. That matters. It matters for people like that to do that. That's why Kyrie Irving got in so much trouble for making that tweet about that movie. Because he has a platform. People listen to him. We see him. And when he did that, the beast, I put that in quote, the beast, or the powers that be, the clown world, for whatever you want to call it, they took offense to that and they had to go after him. But to me, that was a deliberate attack against freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And so again, to me, it's not about right or wrong. That's a conversation. Like, I would have to do research on the specific points he was making, because I know about Jewish conspiracies and I've heard about it, but I've never dived deep into those topics, right? That's the episode of the podcast for a later day. But as I was watching and listening, the most valuable thing that I got out of it was that This man don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He going to talk his shit, and he don't care what happened to him. And I think for me, that's something that I admire. That's something that I always admire, and I think that's important. I think it's important for us to be able to express ourselves and talk about and talk about really any topic. No topic should be off the table. But that's where we're headed to, right? That's the direction that we're going into, you know. If I sit here and say I don't believe a man can transition into a woman or vice versa, I would get silenced, deplatformed, instead of us having a conversation about why I believe what I believe and why somebody might believe something else. If I had a platform and I said these things, I would get silenced. I would get deplatformed. I would get bashed for that. Right? And I think that's why when I look at what he did, I think that's so, like, we have to be willing to just express how we feel and stop being so worried about losing followers or getting this and that, right? I think, and the more people that do that, you can't shut everybody up. You can't take everybody off YouTube and Twitter, and right? You can't deplatform everybody. You can't silence everybody. The more people that'll be like Kanye and really talk they shit and not care about the consequences, the better. Valid points. Do not look. I'm just saying that's not what I got out of it. That's not what I got out of it. Cause it's bigger than the specific points that he was trying to make. It's bigger than that. Because I can sit here and say that he was right, but then somebody else is gonna jump up and say, "Oh, he's wrong," and that's fine. But then we should have a conversation about it. The problem is we can't have a conversation because I'm not even free to express my opinion in the first place. I can't talk about needle in the arm shit on YouTube. Right? Y'all, I remember I got suspended. That's where we are. Y'all got to realize that. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not worried about that aspect of it. Whether he's right or wrong, let's have a conversation about that. Let's do research. Let's share facts and articles and videos and documentaries and figure this out together. But that's how it should be. Girls don't really know what anime is. Big hit DeMarco. Yes, they do. Anime has been mainstream for a long time. It is though. It's very different. But I will say this though, you got to be careful because my niece, she's 14 years old, and she came to me and she said, "Do you have any of those cartoon shirts?" I said, "You mean anime? You mean you talking about the anime shirts, right?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." I gave her my Yu Yu Hakusho anime shirt, right? And I was like, "Why you want it? You don't even like anime." She hate anime. She don't like anime. And she smiled, right? And I'm like, "You're just wearing it for the swag, right? You want that anime nerd swag, right?" And she basically said, "Yeah," right? And so you got to be careful because, some girls, they might not be completely like my niece, who, again, she hates anime, but she loves that nerd anime swag. And so some boy gonna see her at school and think, "Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho shirt. She likes my favorite anime." No, she hates anime, right? And so you gotta be careful because some girls, they get into this shit just for reasons outside of being genuinely interested in it. Some girls, they get into it for, again, to give off the appearance of being like, "Oh, I'm so nerdy, right? Some girls do it just because I'm telling you, anime is a swag now. Anime is a swagger now. It's a look. It's a thing. I go into like stores, like just go to Walmart. They got so many anime shirts. They got anime shirts, anime hoodies, anime sweatpants and shit. I was in a grocery store and I had a Cowboy Bebop shirt. And the guy was like, "I like your shirt. Where you get it from?" I said, "Walmart." He was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah." Anime is a swagger now, so you gotta be careful because some girls they're like getting into it, but not because they really like it. It's just like they're building up a persona character, or they're trying to give off a certain impression on social media, right? It's just like I said, it's a look, it's a fad now. I'm not saying all girls are like that, but some girl. Look again, I witnessed it firsthand. My niece hates anime, hates it. But she was asking for my damn Yu Yu Hakusho shirt. She had on she took my Speed Racer shirt, my Yu Yu Hakusho shirt. I saw her with a goddamn Naruto Shippuden shirt, and she hate anime. But them boys at school, they gonna see that and think, oh, she's so nerdy. So you gotta be careful with that. Some girls, they do it just for the look, man. Kanye seems too intelligent for some of the stuff he is pulling sometimes. I understand him perfectly, and other times I'm like, why does he have a damn mask and pantyhose? That was weird. Look, I'm not gonna cover up for he is weird. He's eccentric. But if you think about it, Kanye has always been very eccentric. Think about that though. He's always been very eccentric. He's always been different. He's always been in his own lane. He was one of the first rappers to have that backpack nerdy swag. Remember, he was wearing the sweaters. He was wearing the damn sweater vest with the collar hanging out. And the fitted the nerd. He's always been different. But what's changed is that he's on the wrong side of this political divide that's going on in our country now. Kanye is no different from what he's always been. He's just on the wrong side now. If he had a mask on and was how much he loves Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and just again take the same shit he doing, but he has the opposite opinion now, right? Nobody cares. It's just Kanye being Kanye. He's always been eccentric though. It's just that now he's revealed himself to be on the quote unquote other side, right? The others, he's on the Trump side, right? He's on that, that side of business, right? Right wing, conservative, religious. Jewish conspiracy. No fap. Oh boy. Like super mainstream. Most people would just circle jerk over DBZ before that. Yeah. I mean, you look at something like Chainsaw Man now, right? Chainsaw Man would have never been as popular as it is now if it came out I guarantee you, if Chainsaw Man came out like 10, 12 years ago, it wouldn't be as popular as it is now. I guarantee you. Chainsaw Man would have been floating around in anime obscurity. If that, it might have not even made it to anime. It might have been just a manga. I'm telling you. It's a different era, man. But I love it. I love seeing anime get bigger and more popular. I love it, man. I'm not one of those guys that feels like it should be a secret club type thing. It's been an amazing thing seeing anime grow and become. But the thing is though, whether people admit it or not, we grew up watching the same stuff. We grew up watching the same television channels. So when I was watching Cowboy Bebop, they were watching Cowboy Bebop. When I was watching Yu Yu Hakusho, you were watching Yu Yu Hakusho. When I saw G Gundam, somebody saw G Gundam. Inuyasha, Paranoia Agent, Ghost in the Shell, Witch Hunter Robin, Blue Gender, Wolf's Rain, Hack, Fully Cooley, Trigun. When I was watching that, we all were watching it. And it's just that I think as my generation grew up, we took that with us. Look at my music, how like I've always been inspired by anime, and I put that into my music. That's how I took what I grew up watching and put it into my art and what I like to do. And so I think that, again, not to take credit for it, but I think it was my generation that grew up on Toonami, Maguzi, and Adult Swim anime, and then moved on from that to really getting into anime, like more obscure anime, and again just pushing it and just really getting into it more and more, and then expressing that in different ways on social media, the way in the way we dress, right? Like, fuck it, I'm gonna wear a damn Naruto headband to college, right? That's where all that comes from. And that's why you see anime being so mainstream now, because we all grew up watching those shows and we took that with us into adulthood in different ways. I put it into my music. Other people put it into their fashion, right? Some people just shared it and showed it to their nieces and nephews or their kids. And so I think that's why we see the world as it is now, with anime being so mainstream, because we all grew up on it. Now, everybody didn't like it, but again, if I was watching Cartoon Network, I know most kids were, right? And that means most kids saw Cowboy Bebop or Dragon Ball Z or something. I would never regret diving deep into anime like Death Note, NHK, Cowboy Bebop, Naruto, Baki the Grappler, great. Berserk, the characters are just top-notch quality, and their philosophy on life can change. Yeah, I think one of the most underrated things about anime is that it really has a lot of good life-changing wisdom in it. I remember Gurren Lagann in particular had such a profound effect on me. I think, and really watching Gurren Lagann really coincided with the period of my life when I got into self-improvement, to be real with you. And I've always drawn inspiration from anime. Like, even when I work out now, I always think back to different training arcs in anime and how the protagonists had to push themselves and train and work hard, and I still think about stuff like that to this day, right? And so, yeah, for me, anime is not just entertainment. I find anime to be inspirational as well. I know that sounds very lame. I know it sounds very sus. It ain't busting for real, but it's the truth. Anime has always been something that's inspired me to be a better man. Anime has always been inspirational for me. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, Dylan came in here and donated $2 and dipped out? Girls like sports anime with hot guys in it. Most gay shipping is done by females. I was like, who the hell is doing this? I'll be like, damn. And look, they'll put the two rival characters against each other. That's the main one, right? Like, oh yeah, Light fucking L, Vegeta fucking right. Goddamn. Jotaro and Dio. The main character from My Hero Academia and the bomb explosion man got kid. Oh, they always do this. I'm like, who is doing this? You damn Fujos. I mean, come on, you can do better than that. They always go for the two characters that hate each other the most. Let's make them fall in love and want to fuck each other. Kanye is right. It's crazy to me that a schizo black guy had the balls to say it, but not most white conservatives who are so-called red pill. I'm telling a lot of people are shook right now, man. A lot of people are shook, and sometimes you don't even really have the option. I mean, look at what happened to me on YouTube. I mean, you literally don't have the option to express contrary opinions about that particular issue on YouTube. So it's getting harder and harder. Damn. He didn't give a damn. He won't try to be politically correct. He ain't care about. He won't try to be politically. OBS disconnected. He won't try to be politically correct. He wasn't trying to. He didn't care about your feelings. Patrice O'Neal was a real. He was a real man about the way he expressed himself. He just did not care. And when I look at Kanye, that's what I see. Now, his mental stability is questionable. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he crazy. I don't think that's it. I see a man who just don't care anymore. He don't care as far as expressing himself. He don't care. He like the power limiters are turned off for Kanye right now. The power limiters are off, and he's at 100%. He's at 100% himself right now. I might get banned for that last comment. I've never heard a girl talk about any anime, even ones with hot guys in them. One thing I've known, and again, I'm not gonna say girls are never into anime, because there are some girls out there that watch more anime than I do nowadays. I don't watch as much anime as I used to be fair, but man, I used to, man, you guys should see my anime list. I've seen quite a bit, but I've definitely slowed down. But one thing I will say, what I notice is that when girls are into anime, they like the mainstream stuff the most. They tend not to stray far from the most popular mainstream shows. That's what I know. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just making an observation. Girls don't tend to dive deep into it. Girls aren't gonna get into the point where they watch stuff like Ashita Nojo, right? Or Gantz, stuff like they don't. They're not gonna go back and watch Legends of the Galactic Heroes or Zeta Gundam, Double Z Gundam. They're not gonna go, right? They're not gonna take it that far. They're not gonna watch Slam Dunk, Cromartie High, and stuff like that. That's just what it is. But again, that's fine. That's fine. All that looking up facts and debating stuff happens on polls. Surprised you just stay on R9K and maybe TV. Look, R9K is my home, but I go to poll quite a bit. Don't get it twisted. I go to poll quite a bit. Now, I don't agree. Like the thing with poll is that there's a lot of negativity on poll as far as just, I mean, let's be honest, like just extreme levels of racism, misogyny, homophobia. Like that shit is to the extreme over there. but I have thick skin, so I can filter out that. If you can look past that, you can. Some of the best threads are on poll, period. But you have to have a filter to where you can. Oh wait, OBS keeps disconnecting. But you have to have when you go on poll, you have to have a filter and be able to look past the offensive bullshit. Some of it is tongue in cheek and just people being trollish and whatnot. Some of it is real. But if you can look past that, Poe has some fantastic threads, and you can get a lot of good information. I made a thread on Poe asking about the Vietnam War, and I got so many different perspectives and learned so much, and it only got like 70, 80 replies. But I got so much out of that thread. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there are a lot of knowledgeable people on Poe that know about politics and significant historical events. It's just that Poe has a reputation for being just, again, racism, homophobia, misogynistic, and hyper right-wing conservative. But you really can find some good debates and information and discussions on Poe for sure. But you gotta look for it. You gotta look for it. You gotta look for it. But yeah, R9K is my home for sure. It's my home. But I would say nowadays, the boards I go to the most are R9K, ADV, the Animal Board, Mecha, Video Game Retro. Did I say Poe? GIF for porn. Yeah. And those are the main ones. Every now and then I go to news. Maybe the mask and pantyhose thing was so high IQ we don't understand everything he does. Dun, 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 dun. Wearing dudes wearing Akatsuki do-rags cracks me up. I was watching this Mexican produced porno. It's like facial abuse, but with Mexicans. And the girl had on the Atsukuki. How do you pronounce it? Because I've never even seen that part of Naruto. I never got to Shippuden. But the girl had on a Akatsuki bikini, right? And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then they proceeded to destroy her throat with their penises. I was like, damn. And even I have a lanyard with the Akatsuki, red cloud logo. So oh man. All right, guys. It's time for me to get out of here. We had a great stream. We played some Street Fighter 3, some Shenmue, and we got through with the forklift arc finally. And we're almost done with this game. I think the next time I play this is going to be the last episode. In fact, I'm probably going to stream it again this weekend just to wrap it up. And then I'm going to get into something more fun for you guys going into the next year. I promise. We're gonna I don't know what I'm gonna pick. Maybe I'll let the people decide now that I think about it. Cause I'm still gonna put Persona 5 off for a while. I'm not ready to commit to Persona 5. I think that I'm gonna let you guys decide what's the next one I play on stream to completion. Right, I'm gonna let you guys choose. I'm gonna let you guys select that. We're gonna hold a vote, so watch out for the YouTube poll, the YouTube community board poll. I'm gonna post something soon. I might have like 3 or 4 options, and I'll let you guys vote on it. But we had a great stream tonight. played Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Shenmue 1. We talked about Kanye and fake anime hoes. So I'll see you guys later, possibly this weekend. So I gotta get out of here. See ya.